Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, here we are.
Welcome to Crosscut Podcast.
We're back at it.
Crosscut Cinema.
Who are we?
Crosscut
Madison.
Cinema.
Like
Madison?
our names?
I mean, like, or the
Who are we
podcast.
as people?
Well, I'm
it
pretty
all
sad.
started when I was 4.
Oh no.
That was absolutely ridiculous. I can't even.
Sorry, let's start over. I'm Madison.
I'm Bree.
I'm Frani.
I'm Logan.
You're Logan?
I'm Logan.
You're Logan?
Yeah.
So here on this podcast, we watch movies. And we talk about the movies that we watched. And this week, we watched 2 whole movies, as we do every week. And one of the movies was Franny's pick.
Woo.
And that's what we're going to do first. And if you couldn't tell by the intro or the title of the video, which I hope you read.
Or the singing.
Or the singing. We're going to...
We need to pause.
What?
We actually need to pause.
So, as I was saying...
I've yet again proven that I don't know what I'm doing. So, sorry. I had everything all mixed up. I'm not a good sound person.
We got new mics, and then the mics got mixed up, and we got confused.
I bet it sounds a little bit better, though.
Probably does now. But what I was going to say was that we watched Twilight this week as Franny's choice.
The best movie.
And we also watched Birds of Prey, but we'll talk about that later.
Twilight. What do I have to say about Twilight?
I have so much. I love Twilight.
It brought back so many memories.
It really did.
Mostly memories of me laying on the couch with strep throat, dying and watching.
I'd say it's objectively a bad film.
Shut.
I don't know if I would
Shut
agree with
your
that.
I think that at least, okay, we'll put it this way. If it's good, it's not good in the way it was intended to be
You better
Like,
shut your mouth.
On like a film level, like there are some good things and there are some bad things. I wouldn't call it a bad film,
All right.
but I wouldn't call it a great one either. I would say that it's like, as far as movies go, middle of the road movie.
What I kept getting told was that this was competently directed.
I agree.
I disagree. I think that it's filled with Dutch angles and weird hydro shots and like weird like spin arounds, and the colors, even though they were definitely like, they were meant to look this way. Forks was a little muted, but then it didn't know what it wanted to be by having all these bright colors. So it wasn't very good.
I mean,
And the montage scenes where she's figuring things out and she's on the Google and she goes to the bookstore and then a gaggle of rapists find her.
I mean, to be fair, that's exactly what happens in the book.
Yeah,
okay.
It's true to its source material.
I'm not saying that's not true to the source
For the most
material.
part.
I'm saying the source material is inherently not a good film.
I mean, I think that they took the Twilight book and made it into probably the best version of the movie they could have made out of that book.
Well, see, okay, so
that doesn't mean it's a good movie, because I don't know how good it is, but there are good things about it.
I disagree that it made the best version of the film it could be, because it wasn't interestingly directed.
Oh fuck! I am so sorry.
The ding going off during the podcast.
It was very interestingly directed.
No.
The muted colors are perfect for what it wants to be.
No, but the thing is, it doesn't stick with that idea.
It changes up the color scheme when it needs to.
But it's not based on anything happening in the film. It's just based on what this director thought would look interesting, and it didn't look interesting.
I thought it looks very...
And it was very gimmicky. The shot where they're standing in the woods and she just found out for the first time, ooh, this boy's a vampire.
That is the best scene in the whole goddamn movie, besides the spider monkey scene.
They do a rounding shot, and it shows him a certain distance away from her. But then when they go back to the close-up, he's like in her ass.
Which is perfect. It shows his speed.
No, it doesn't. He didn't move. The idea was not that he moved, but that they got a full scope of the situation. They got a surround look on the situation, but it was incorrect because in the following scene, he was up too close. They call that bad blocking and bad directing.
No, it was perfect.
It wasn't. And then my other issue with it is, and this is the biggest issue, is that those who are upset with people dogging on this film, everyone a part of this film knew what they were making, and they don't treat it like it's high art. So let's not sit here and pretend like it's anything but a cash grab popcorn teen YA film.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think it's a great movie.
I don't even think it's a good movie.
It's not supposed to be high art. It's supposed to be
I think it does what it's supposed to do, and I think that there are some good scenes and there's some good direction, but there's also some not so good direction.
I don't think it does what it's supposed to do, because I've seen I sound so uneducated because I can't remember the name of it. The second one, the New Moon movie. I've seen the New Moon movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's really well directed. That movie looks good. I mean, like, in all intents and purposes, it betrays like the grief of the character, from what I understand, better than the first film did. Like, it
she's
betrayed
not
the
supposed
emotion.
to be in grief.
The
I
emotion.
mean,
Sorry,
she is.
the emotion.
Not in the first one.
Oh,
In the
okay.
second one,
Well,
yeah.
well,
I
no,
was
no, no, no.
confused. I was like, have you
I'm not talking about
seen
specifically
her?
about the grief. Okay, Fox News, give me a second to explain myself. Fucking jumped on it so quick. It doesn't give her emotions like in the first movie. You just look at her and like she's just kind of a bitch. Like she's mean to her dad, who's trying his fucking hardest.
She's just an angsty teen.
No, she's dismissive of her friends who are excited about prom. Like, prom shit's fucking stupid. Then don't come along. Like, don't make people feel bad because they're excited.
Though.
She
She's full of
basically did,
angst.
dude. She was like, I'm not really into all this stuff. I actually came with you guys to go to a bookstore. And also, fuck our dinner plans we had, because I want to hang out with my boyfriend.
Well, okay, to be fair, she did get like almost attacked.
But, okay, that may be true, but nothing forced her to ditch her friends continually by going to dinner with this dude.
Well, they had
No.
already eaten
They
by the time that they got back.
But they were like, hey, we can head back. And she's like, no, I'm going to... He's like,
No,
I should
that
feed
was
you.
her to do
That was like a cute moment. Like they were so excited
Yeah,
for
they were
her.
like, get him, girl.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Like I think you hate it because it's easy to hate it.
No. Here's the thing, though. I'll actually make my point by saying this. So the first 50 Shades of Grey film is an incredibly directed film. If you watch it, the colors in it are amazing. The direction choices, the acting's not even bad. And I hate the source material. I hate the story. But I can watch that film and go, wow, this is really well directed. When I watch Twilight, I go, wow, they really didn't give a fuck. Like, at all.
I don't know. I mean, I think that there are things that are good and there are things that are not as good. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think there's any moment where I'm like, wow, this is really, really poor. I think that there are some movies which are really, really bad. I don't know that this is one of them.
What is something that was really great about it?
I mean, I actually really like the camera movements. I kind of like that circling.
It just,
thing
but
that
the
they
thing
did.
is, if it
And then
did
I also
work,
really liked like those sort of like aerial sort of establishing shots of forks. I liked those a lot.
something that was much better, so much better done in the later films. Like the first film, there are scenes that they got of this like landscape that is gorgeous and should look good no matter what. But because it was so horribly handled, it looked fake, even though it was real scoping shots.
I don't know. I didn't feel like
This
it was
movie
fake looking.
looks. I feel like it looks the best out of all of them. Like there's
that's
some
that's
really
the edgy, teeny angst kind of vibe. I mean, we ended on a slow-mo black and white girl walking down the steps villainously.
Yeah, I've never said I like the ending of this one.
But that's the vibe of the whole movie. Like, that's how the whole movie feels.
I mean, I don't think that's
it feels like a Joel Schumacher Batman film.
Oh my god.
It does. It really does. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the series because I actually saw the second movie and I liked the direction of the second movie. I mean, I still don't really like the story, but the resonating of the story is not what I'm arguing here. That's subjective. People can like a kind of story that I don't like. The part that's not subjective is the poor shots, the poor directing that was
There's
done.
so many good shots. The first scene of the whole movie is beautifully directed.
You mean the weird shaky cam, quickly shot deer running through
it
the
looks
woods and
so
getting
cool.
tackled by Robert
It fucking
Pattinson?
resonates. It's not Robert Pattinson. That is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
He hunts animals,
oh,
dude.
yeah, duh. And then there's so many scenes that look so good. Like like one of the last scenes where that one guy attacks Bella.
You talking about the
Yeah, I think that the dance studio
James?
is
Yeah, the dance
pretty
studio.
good.
When
I don't know.
James
It just
attacks
kind of
Bella.
felt like an episode of like Criminal Minds the way it was shot.
It looks so
mean,
good.
it's
I
just-
love the dance studio.
It's
scene.
not that I'm shitting on this because it's Twilight. I'm shitting on this because I've seen the franchise do better. But yet,
Yeah,
all
I
I
mean,
ever
I'm
hear
not,
about this
like-
film is that the direction's the best in this one, and that's the part I'm disputing. I'm not disputing whether Twilight is a good story or not.
I think that it is decently directed. I think that there are some mistakes that were made that I can forgive because it is by far not as bad as it could have been.
And then the other thing with the directing is the performances. I've seen these characters give good performances in these roles. Robert Pattinson with his poo smelling moment where she walked in, he's like, "Oh my god, you smell like poo poo," and
Shut your mouth.
I will go on and say that I think that the acting in this movie is pretty good.
no, it's passable. I'm not saying it's
I
horrible.
think it's good. I think it's good.
But that next film is great. I mean, like the performing is not a problem in that second movie, and I believe I've seen the other ones, and it was kind of the same deal. But that second one sticks with me. It's the one where like he goes away and like she wants to kill herself.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I'm talking about the right movie.
Yeah.
My favorite.
I like Taylor Lautner.
Really,
in it.
that's my least favorite.
It's my favorite because I
know.
love Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
And
Your
I'm-
team Jacob.
I would team Jacob.
Well, that's kind of shocking considering how much an emo kid you were. It's shocking you like the jockey boy.
I don't feel like he's jockey.
I flip
He's pretty
flopped.
jockey.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's like such a bro by like the second movie. He cuts all his hair off and he gets a tattoo. He's all
yeah,
muscly
that's
He
and shit.
becomes a werewolf.
He runs around in the woods with just shorts on. He's a jockey boy, okay? It's just how it is.
I just love Jacob,
But
dude.
no, I mean, I think that the acting in this movie is good. I think it's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Good is so strong.
I mean, I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit over the top, but I also kind of think it's intentional.
Let's talk about some of the cringe on purpose moments that are supposed to be cutesy but make me want to throw up. So, for instance, when she first gets the truck and she actually hits that boy with the door. Why
Okay,
do this to me?
No.
No.
They're trying to show-
I understand the point of it. I
They're
understand the
trying
point of
to
it. I
show
understand
how
the point of it.
clumsy and like, because it leads up to when she becomes a vampire. She's no longer like that, and leads up to like her explaining why she never felt right as a
But
human.
that wasn't a clumsy act on her. That was a clumsy act on him. Secondly,
It was a clumsy act
I
on
get
her.
that it's
She
supposed to-
ran
I don't
into
understand
him.
why you're mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm trying to explain
He's
a
mad
point.
at
She's
everything.
interrupting me. I'm not mad at it. I'm trying to explain my point here.
What is it that you don't like about the moment?
But no, it's not just that moment. There's a combination of moments. There's purposeful cringe in the film that if you're not of the age that the film was targeted towards, it is hard to watch. I'm just being real. Like
What
the
do you
moment, for instance, that door hitting moment. For
It
me,
was funny.
it wasn't funny. It was awkward.
And it's supposed to be awkward, though.
I get that, but I'm not talking about what it was going
They're
for.
supposed to be like 16.
I can't talk about the way the movie made me feel. Isn't that the whole point?
But but it's supposed to be awkward. I don't understand how this is a complaint.
It's not a complaint of their intention. It's the complaint of the result.
The result is the intended result.
But my point being is I know what they were intending. It's not something I enjoyed. That's all I'm saying. I didn't enjoy the film, and I wasn't going to enjoy what the film was going to be in the first place. I'm just giving my personal opinion on the art
my
itself.
opinion.
Exactly.
But I'm confused about what you don't like about the door hitting scene.
It's because it's cringy, and I know that's what it's going for, but that's not something I enjoy to watch. My point being, they can make a great fucking movie as far as like what they want to accomplish. It doesn't mean that it resonates with everybody.
There are plenty of great movies which make you cringe, though.
I know, but this particular scene, as well as a few other scenes in the film, they're cringe scenes. For me, they don't get a good reaction out of me. They just make me feel awful. And I get that maybe that's what they're going for, but it wasn't enjoyable in comparison. Like, for instance, the cringy scenes in, like, The Nice Guys, for instance. For me, that film works for me because I'm already enjoying the characters, and the cringy scenes to me come out funny or endearing because
You're
I
being
enjoy
such
the
a
characters.
boy right now.
No, I'm not.
You really are. You're being such a boy.
No. We're giving a lot of passes to a movie that even the people who made wouldn't say is high art.
I'm not saying it's high art either, but I'm saying you're being a boy.
I think that's a little aggressive for me to not like a movie. It makes me a boy, especially when I'm praising the sequel. I like the sequel.
I think that you're just being a boy about Twilight right now.
Okay,
I
well,
agree.
I think this is a generalization, and anybody who's listening to it is going to realize, especially since I'm not generalizing the whole series. I'm talking about the specific film.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
you're being
saying
a boy.
too.
Like, I think that the performances in this movie are good. I think that they
Passable.
are what they're supposed to do. You know, Edward is supposed to be like this sort of weird dude that
Like,
you're like, what the fuck is he
Possibly
doing?
on the spectrum acting.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, he's supposed to
that
be
is the
fucking
point. I'm
weird.
not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, everybody knows that these kids are fucking weird.
Can we talk about
And,
how
like,
all
it's
he does
made a
is fucking
point.
gaslight Bella the whole movie?
I know.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
I
bad.
literally said that to Bridget when he was telling her that like the car accident scene didn't happen that way.
Well,
I was
nobody's
like,
gonna believe you anyway.
I was
so
like, as he casually gaslights her.
Like, that's part of my point is why Edward's not good for her. And also
Edward is
Jacob's
really a dick.
Yeah,
not
he's
good for
kind of-
her. Like, no one is good for her. Like, Bella, go and find yourself. Be a
Yeah, like,
lesbian.
honestly,
have you seen the things
got all
where
the
they were
parts
saying
there.
that her and Alice have more chemistry than any character?
Correct.
Correct.
They really make Bella the most.
You guys are
lesbian
being
in this
such
movie.
lesbians right now.
Even me.
Bella is so lesbian in this movie, though.
She is.
She wears a fucking bowling shirt. She drives that truck. Bella is so lesbian in this movie.
Do you
It's
think
not
that
even
this,
funny.
like,
Except for the
helped
part where she
Kristen
wants to fuck
Stewart?
two
Boys
different
try to
dudes.
talk to her, and she's just like,
And she was
And
like,
Robert
what?
Pattinson barely
No.
counts because, like, for most of this movie, you could feasibly make the assumption that he's just like a young twink who's kind of awkward.
Who? Edward?
You
Yeah,
not
you
make that
could.
argument.
You could.
No. He's got BDE everywhere. He went in the fucking woods and played super baseball.
I said for a part of this movie.
You said for a majority. Thank you.
She
Like
said
the
a
first
good
half.
part.
I mean, okay, sure.
But no, I
Sure,
mean, I
why-
think
I
that-
can't get out my real argument anyway, so it doesn't
I
matter.
think that Kristen Stewart's performance is
God.
actually really good in this movie. I think a lot of people talk about her being kind of wooden,
Oh, she's so bad in this
but
movie.
I think that Bella's character is kind of like
I have to
Yeah.
she's
agree.
very like awkward and very stiff. She spends a lot of the book kind of like stuttering around.
I yet again make an example though of the later films. Now maybe that's part of the source material that her character
Yeah, I
doesn't start
mean,
to come out till later.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
But if we're
And
talking
it
about,
kinda
but we
helps her
have to
become
look
who
at
she's
films
supposed to
alone
be.
as a whole. You can't like it's the same thing I was saying before. If you zone in on just this movie, if there were no sequels, if there's no continuations, there are flaws to her performance without a
But
doubt.
if Bella spends this movie being like a ray of sunshine,
No
and
one's
being-
asking her to be a ray of
and
sunshine. People are
being-
asking her to be a person.
and being more emotive.
She
like,
fell in
then
love with
that-
somebody.
Let me
Okay,
finish here.
okay.
Then that doesn't make sense for her character to fall in love with somebody who's also kind of that outcast person.
Yeah.
That's why they relate to each other, because she doesn't feel that she fits in with these people either.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's kind of weird and she's kind of clumsy and kind of stiff and like she doesn't really say much and she spends a lot of time going like, and that's kind of what she does.
Her
That's kinda who she
personality
is.
though is fanaticism. Like that's all she has. She's wooden or she's obsessed with a guy.
Yeah,
That's
and-
all
but I
she
mean,
has.
But I think that's makes sense for her.
But
As
That's
a
who
character.
she
but
is
you
in the
can't.
book.
But you can't turn around and be like, well, she's not a wooden person when her only personality traits are I'm a lady who's
I never
awkward.
said she wasn't wooden. She is kind of like.
That's how she's supposed to.
I,
Okay.
but I don't think that's a criticism to Kristen Stewart's acting. I think that that's kind of how Bella is characterized.
And like,
I think that the performances aren't her fault. I think it's the direction because it is better in later films. But I think that this is there's definitely problems with pretty much all of the acting in this movie.
I mean, there are some moments where they get a little weird, but I think generally her performance is good and her performance is true to the character as she is. Because
I wouldn't know. I didn't read the source material.
Yeah,
yeah, and I
exactly.
mean,
Get
and
out
I
of
think
here.
that
If every fucking criticism of a movie required them to read all the source material,
well, no, I mean,
That'd be
I think
ridiculous.
that also changes your perception on the movie because,
Absolutely.
like, because things like Bella's lack of personality and like Kristen Stewart's lack of emotion in her acting,
Yeah.
like they make sense when you read Twilight because that's
so
kind of
then,
how she
so then
is.
that further proves my point that maybe the film isn't that great, but the fans gather around it because it's the starting of something bigger for them.
I mean, I don't
seeing
even
the
know
rest
that
of it
it's-
displayed
I think
out.
I think that the film is good. I never said it was great.
I don't think it's even good. I think it's okay.
I mean, yeah, I think it's like on the okay edge of good. Like,
I think it's on the okay edge of so bad it's good.
no, I don't think that. But I mean,
Hold on tight, Spider Monkey. Like, come
That
on, dude.
That is the sexiest scene in the whole
no,
movie.
it isn't.
That
have
is the
to
sexiest
say
scene.
no.
We're kind of
That's a
like
no
You
for me,
better
dog.
hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
we're kind of like vegetarians with tofu. We're never really satisfied.
I was
Yeah, for everything good I've said about this movie thus far, I will say that this is a terrible, terrible script.
Yeah, absolutely. But where's the script come from, guys?
Well, it comes from the source material, which I've never
Even the
claimed.
dialogue, even they were very true to the source material, and Franny can back this up. Most of the dialogue.
I
the
agree. I
bigger
mean, I
parts
agree,
are
and I
from
think
it.
that a lot of
Yeah.
the dialogue in
Yeah.
Twilight itself is very stupid as well. Like, I read
Rip.
Twilight, and I quite liked it when I read it, but that's because I was also in middle school. But
big
like,
same.
But
And
like, don't
Fifth grade.
You will not catch me saying that Twilight is well written.
I think
You
Robert
will
Pattinson.
cast-
I think
no.
Robert
Catch me
Pattinson
saying
said it
that.
best. It's like a wet dream of like a crazy lady.
That's exactly what it is.
But
Stephanie.
That's just it. How greatly directed or written are wet dreams. Like, you know what I mean? It's so fanatical in the way she treats the characters, and it's so like Bella is such an innocent. There's like even when she does things bad, you feel so bad for her because she's such a good person. What makes her so good? She blows off her friends all the time. She's fucking leading on this little Native American boy who's adorable. And then on top of
don't
that,
talk about him like
and
that.
then on top of that, she's choosing to be with somebody who literally is telling her all the time, like, I'm the biggest piece of shit ever, and I'm not going to make an excuse for it when I treat you like it. Sorry I'm so rude. I just think it's the better way to be. Dude's a fucking dickhead. And she's like, yeah, this is fine.
No, like
That's
I
fine.
agree with those criticisms
Yeah.
of Twilight as a book and as an entity. Like, you have to understand that this is like Stephanie Meyer's weird Mormon version of what love might look like. So obviously Bella and Edward can't like fuck or do anything until they get married because like he is representative of like sin.
It's odd seeing it.
But then she discovers that like no, actually like he's godliness in fact, and so that's why she has to wait. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's this whole it's like very weird Mormon psychosexual like things going on that I can't begin to understand.
It's honestly my whole experience with Twilight is like a roller coaster.
I think a lot of people give it a lot of passes, and a lot of people on the other end, it's like two extremes.
Yeah. I mean,
there is no middle. What I'm saying is I am the middle ground. I don't like the first film, but I liked the second film. I don't like the source material, but I like its screen attachment. I like the way people acted. But this first film is the worst of them.
This first
I really
film
feel that way.
is iconic.
I don't like Breaking Dawn Part 2 at all.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that one either.
I've probably
first of all,
seen
they
this
gave us the
movie.
fucking dream sequence and shit. That was
Stupid as
bullshit.
hell.
But I'm counting the it seems like pretty much people care about the main three because the Twilight fans hated the Part 1, Part 2 bullshit. That's what I've heard from a lot of fans. They really liked the first three books, and then the first three movies, and they don't like how the last two were just like broken up, awkward bullshit.
Yeah, it didn't make sense for
and
them
they
to
just
do that.
did it to make more money.
Yeah. I mean, like, and that's the thing, like, the source material is problematic, but can be fun to read when you're older and, like, can kind of have a critical lens.
I
And,
would like
that's
to
the same-
reread the
that's
books,
the same
yeah.
with Twilight,
So
the
bad
movie.
it's good.
And that's the same with Twilight the movie. Like, it's more fun when you have a kind of a critical eye about it. But I think as far as a movie adaptation of a not very good source, it does pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably seen this movie 3 times, all of you combined seen it. Like, I've seen this movie at least like 20 times. I'm not going to pretend like I haven't. So
She was
much
saying
so
the
that,
dialogue as we were watching it.
Yeah, I
It
was
was
saying
really
the
fucking
dialogue
scary.
as we were watching
I tried
it.
to joke about it, and she'd yell at me.
Oh.
No, there were times in
I
this
would-
movie where me and Bridget watched it together and we were just laughing out loud because
Yeah.
so much of the script is just so
a lot
stupid.
of it isn't great. And I will say, like, I was a very sheltered kid. And this was like my only thing that was not Jesus-y that I was like, my mom, my
Spoiler
parents
alert,
was like,
it is a bit Jesus-y.
I know.
because- Well,
my
do Mormons
parents
believe in
was not
Jesus?
happy with me
I'm sorry, can you
reading or
repeat that?
watching
Mormons
this.
believe in Jesus, right? But they have like their own
Yes.
sort of
It's
thing
like
about it.
he's like Kentucky American Jesus. Remember?
No, I mean
no.
he's Utah Jesus.
Yeah,
first
yeah.
of
But
all.
that's my point. Is like he's like born in America.
He's like Jesus too.
Jesus
Jesus
2.0.
2.0.
Jesus.
I dropped
Jesus
my
2,
ring
the
out.
Jesus thing.
But I definitely see where, like, you're saying, like, it just kind of feels like a
Just do Electric
repressed,
Boogaloo.
like, Mormon wet dream, because that's literally what it is. I will say, like, I've watched it so many times, starting from when I was little, like, again and again. Like, it's the movie I go to when I'm sad. It's the movie I go to when I'm sick. It's weird seeing it, like, almost every year of my life with a new lens.
Right.
And I think this time I was watching it and I was like, why was everybody just so okay with how abusive Edward is?
Don't say Robert Pattinson. He's a
yeah,
good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
But
good
why
man.
would-
He,
which
he
that's-
knows that his character
yeah.
is so shit.
He's so manipulative.
And it took him so much to get over the hurdle of the fucking damage these films did to his career.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, that is true to the source material. Bella was an easily manipulated person, and he manipulated the fuck out of her. But
Like, honestly, watching Twilight, I'm like, wow, this is a sad, lonely young girl. And there's this man who's much, much older than her.
120 years old or some crazy
Yeah.
Much older than her, who literally wants to eat her.
shit. Yeah.
And
almost fucking
spends-
does. Almost fucking does. And they're
Yeah.
still good.
And spends all this time reverse psychologying her to be like, stay away from me. I'm bad. I'm dangerous. Like, that won't make her depressed.
favorite
Not to
quote.
come
Also,
closer.
this man is clearly insane because he doesn't ever rest. He doesn't sleep. Think about the lunacy you'd start thinking of all the time, being awake forever,
But my
always
favorite-
thinking, always being present. You would go insane. You would go fucking insane. And you know that there's crazy shit turning up there because he's never had a moment of silence.
And then just like the fact that he can read everybody's minds but not hers, and that like makes her
she's
Yeah,
his
that-
a mystery
kryptonite.
to him.
I like
that gets
it.
him
It's
torque,
like
the fact that he can't read her brain.
Yeah.
But he still wants to manipulate her so he can read her
Right,
brain
he can't
too.
read her brain, so he's got to manipulate her brain.
You can't be
Right.
out of my circle.
Well-
I'll love you forever for this. What a creepy fuck.
Well, and like the funny thing about this movie too is like he cannot decide if he wants her to know that he's super powerful or not, because sometimes he's like you didn't see that, you know, like it didn't really happen that way. And then another moment he's like, it's the adrenaline rush. And then another moment he's like, when are you gonna stop? Are you ever gonna stop like trying to find out the truth? And then
Yeah, he keeps
and he's
bringing
like-
it up like, you know I'm famous, right? It's like when I met Nick Lachey. Fun little story. I met Nick Lachey, and he just really
Also,
wanted
like,
me to know how famous he
we're in
was.
Cincinnati, and Nick Lachey is like very much a Cincinnati celebrity. Like people
Yeah.
know who Nick Lachey is, but like he's from here, so it's like a big deal.
Yeah, so he's like, hey, and I'm like, oh hi, and he's like, don't you know who I am? And I'm just like, no. That's like what Edward's doing with Bella. Like, haven't you thought about like she might like if he would have left it alone, she might have been like over it in like 2 weeks.
And she probably would have just come up with a reasonable explanation in her mind, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was probably like an adrenaline thing. You can Google it, as he says.
And then like when she's like guessing like superhero stuff, he's like, what if I'm the bad guy? What if I'm the villain?
Duh.
well, that's how he feels. It's like my favorite quote from the whole movie is, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb. Like that's
I
how
thought
it
my
is.
life-
That's how it's supposed to be.
Turns out my life is a comedy kind of moment. Like, shut the fuck up, Robert. We're done with this shit.
My favorite quote
What
from
a
the
stupid
movie
lamb. What a
is-
sick, sadistic lion.
I hate
You know what
that.
my favorite line from the movie is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, Bella, a worm.
I fucking love that.
That little boy.
Yeah.
There's so many good
There's
quotes.
so many like good moments in this
And
movie.
then there's like that blonde guy. He's like the Disney Channel original movie guy the whole time, where he's like, "Please notice me," and she's like, "Just go ask out Anna Kendrick and leave my lesbian
Right.
ass alone, please. I'm done with you." I love that kid, that dumb
and
dopey ass
and
character.
Anna Kendrick says, "Aren't people from Arizona supposed to be like really tan?" And Bella says,
Maybe that's
That's
why
another
they
cringe
kicked me
moment
out.
where
That's why they kicked you
I was like throwing up. I
It
was
was like,
fucking
it's funny
throwing up.
though. It's funny. It's a funny moment.
It's not that funny.
That's so funny.
The funniest thing about this movie to me, and the funniest thing about Twilight, the novel, is throughout the book they kind of emphasize Edward in this like Volvo. Like this Volvo is like they she plays it up like it's such this like fancy ostentatious kind of car.
She really
but it's like
does.
it's a fucking Volvo, which speaks to the Mormonism of it all. But like in every shot where Edward's with his car, like they really like it's very clear it's a fucking Volvo. Like this
Yeah.
is so important. It's so fucking funny to me.
Yeah, I know. I made the point to Fran watching the movie. I'm like, look, he's got a car. Look at this car. They want to show us this car. Oh man, look that car. Like it was literally like the whole fucking time. And then all the different cars that the emo vampires kept showing up in.
Yeah, I mean, no, and like the cars are like very much like their one luxury in these books, which is like I get it, but like, but if you haven't read the book and like it just feels stupid,
You're like,
And then
and it is stupid.
like the whole thing where like they're making her dinner and then like the one
Rosalie.
Rosalie.
man, okay. Do we have to make like one of the only other female characters in the film the most hated
It's
fucking
because
character
of
in
her
cinema?
character growth. She grows and they become very close. Well, I mean, she does try to
Okay.
steal her baby,
I
but
was
like
gonna
other than
say,
that,
Are you
reason
fucking
she wants-
okay? Everybody needs to stop for a second. Did you just hear what she just said? Can you fucking repeat yourself? There's her character growth, except for when she tries to steal her
well, that's the whole thing
baby.
with Rosalie is that
She
she
fucking
plays.
hindered-
yeah,
She's
Rosalie
like
feels
forced
like
to
her
play
life,
like the
yeah.
jealous bitch because she
Like-
wants what Bella has. Like,
like-
Rosalie wishes she could have just died, and this
Yeah.
is the thing that I was thinking about when I was watching this movie.
So
Actually,
morbid.
that I never really thought about with Twilight, like until I watched this movie today. So Carlisle, vampire dad, like
Yeah.
has saved all of
Vampire
these
dad.
people, like from their imminent deaths. He saved them, but like he's a doctor, right? So he encounters people that probably die like every day. How does he decide who's worthy?
I think he kind of decided to stop after these.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
idea. They actually made a point where they realized like this immortal sin shit is not worth it to just let people die.
Yeah. So he tries to save as many people as he can as just a doctor. But yeah, he just kind of.
But yeah, but like I mean, I'm sure that like even in the time between him turning Edward and him turning whoever was next.
I
think it was Esme.
Oh, how did he
Esme.
decide in those moments?
Yeah, like what?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that is not something that the writer thought about.
No, I mean I think it's
she
I think
didn't
it's
think
on
about a lot of fucking things when she wrote
I think
these
on like
books.
kind of a subconscious level, it's like the idea like that some people are like saved and some people are the like
Oh, we're going into like the whole faith aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
don't
could
think
be.
that that's like her conscious effort to write that story, but like I think that's kind of a little bit of it.
For sure. If you've seen The Host, then I definitely agree. Have you seen The Host or read it at all?
I haven't seen The Host.
It's
It's
been a
another-
really long time.
It's another
but
Stephanie
yeah.
Meyer little
Yeah.
project. Man, that would be a hilarious conversation. It's alien Twilight with
Wow.
multiple wives. I mean, I'm not fucking kidding either. I'm really not.
Oh, Stephanie.
Oh,
But it's multiple wives in
Stephanie.
one wife body.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see. But yeah, there's just so much about this movie that is really, really funny. And there's also a lot about this movie that is quite dated now. Like just things that they say.
Yeah.
Like at a point, the character tells Bella to chillax.
he did.
I'm
He did
like,
say
oh my
that.
god, what fucking
Stories.
feature's
story's
dead.
Yeah, feature's dead. Don't bring it up again. Like,
Also, like
You know,
the
I
fact
got
that,
you, babe.
Like Bella's shock at her mom like texting is so funny to me. Like, oh, you text now? Like it's just like, I mean, and that's with any movie that was made. You know, like things age, but like this movie just ages.
can we talk
really
about the
funnily.
weird kid who kissed her on the cheek and didn't get his ass beat?
My
Fucking
girl.
Tyler.
Yeah.
What his name was? What's
Tyler.
His name's Tyler.
His name is Tyler. He
That's
was in the
upsetting.
books too.
It's
Yeah.
upsetting.
And
for
he's the
me.
same one that like almost hit her with his car, right?
Yeah.
Correct. His dad was like,
Which is valid.
I'm gonna take your license
Also, like
away.
the inside of his van is definitely like where teens go and have sex. Like it's got like a bead van.
And smoke.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love the
You know,
scene
he's got a bong back
later
there.
where Bella is like in the car and they're escaping like James, and then you just see her like old friends like coming out, like the friends she could have had,
Yeah.
like coming out of that restaurant all like laughing and everything. That was such a well directed scene. It like shows like the path she's going down versus the path she could have gone down. And like you see like maybe a sparkle of like
And you see
regret.
him really alienate her from her friends,
Yeah.
which I think is important. in the-
that's more what I
Correct.
drew from it. But yeah.
I do want to say the effects in this movie are so fucking funny.
They really did not age
They're-
well. Him
Like just the
so
way that he like
bad.
scampers.
or the way he runs up, like he's
Ooh,
like
the
climbing
tree, the
trees.
spider monkey scene.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Also, like he's close your eyes and then he just like oddly jumps through the air and just. It's
And
just
she
looks-
doesn't close her eyes. 'cause
It
she
really,
trusts
it's
him.
like you said. It looks like you said about a different movie. It looks like they just took a picture of him with his arms up in the air and they just
Yeah,
dragged it
for
across the
sure.
screen.
Yeah, there are
looks so
some
bad.
truly stupid special effect moments.
Yeah, it's not
And
good.
it's kind of consistently like that throughout the other movies. Like definitely in New Moon, those werewolf CGI.
Yeah, because we recently just
Not
watched a little
cute.
bit of it with
With my
Madison's
sister. Yeah. We didn't watch all of it, but
we
we
were
watched a
gonna watch
little.
it today too. Logan's
Yeah,
idea.
because I remember like liking that one better. I was like, I really, because I knew what was gonna happen if I came in here and criticized the movie. Everyone's like, "You're being a boy," so I wanted to see the movie so I could say the things I liked to kind of give that balance. But I didn't get to watch it, and what I thought would happen happened. I called it, but that's
you
okay.
You were being a boy.
I wasn't being. I was
Yes,
being
you were.
critical.
You were being a boy.
I was being a critical person.
But yeah, like the special effects in Twilight are just they're a lot to handle.
They're something else. They're not even the worst part of the movie, though. They're really not.
I mean, the worst part of the movie is the script. It's bad.
Actually, yeah, that or just gonna throw this out there, and I know it's gonna be. It's the floating accent of Robert Pattinson, which I liked a lot at first, but then as it went on,
The what accent?
the accent of
how
Robert
it
Pattinson.
like how sometimes he's got like a Spanish accent and then sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, he's trying to do multiple things. He's trying to do the Latin accent that'll come up later because of the whole like Italy, Latin America
Yeah.
bullshit with the vampires.
Or Latin.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was.
Whatever.
He's trying to mix that in like a conquistador fucking accent bullshit with his English accent that he's going in a higher register for than his actual speaking voice. And then just like a hint of British little flies here and there. And I get that the British stuff can help with him sounding more formal, but there were moments where I was like, can you just fucking talk? Like, can you just speak for me, please? And then as a result, their conversations, which are already stunted because they're awkward on purpose, is even worse because you're like, what the fuck did he just say? He just like slurred, like American slurred over those words.
I don't know. I don't hate it as much as
You know
do.
what scene always felt out of place to me and feels even worse out of place? The restaurant scene. It feels
He
like
just goes to Olive Garden with her ass.
no,
Yeah.
he goes to like an edgy version of Olive Garden with her ass.
And then there's this
And-
weird like girl, like pixie girl there, and she's like, "Hey Edward, how you want to meet me in
Also,
the
like
back?
the weird
I'm
thing
just
about
really
that
pretty."
scene is he's spending so much time trying to convince her that he's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get to that restaurant and he's like, yeah, I can read minds. And then she just accepts that.
She really does. She's just like,
yeah, that sounds
She's
about
just
right
like,
to me.
Wait, but you can't read mine?
Right,
What's
which
wrong
is
with
the most
me?
convenient cop out of being able to read minds.
I want to really break down the scene for everybody. He goes, hearing what those guys were thinking. Like, it's supposed to be like an accidental drop. Bruh, you said that shit on purpose so she'd know.
Well, no, he does it in the car. Like, if you had heard what they were thinking. And she said, what do you mean you heard what they were thinking? And he was like, well, it's not hard to guess. But then he brings it up again at the restaurant.
Also, that cat joke was cringy and I hate it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about because the rest of the movie wasn't like that. Like, ugh.
he just said cat.
Yeah, and cat. And
And
then you
then
just
the
see a
guy
guy
goes-
just like,
Yeah.
like, fuck that joke.
But no, it's like so stupid because he's like, yeah, I can read minds. And she's like, you can?
I do feel like, though, if they went around the room and they saw Bridget be like, dog. And then you just see Bridget like, if only this was a visual podcast so you could see the face I was making because it's dead on.
But she just accepts it. She's just like, yeah, I bet you do read minds. Like, what the fuck? And then, like, isn't that, like, if you were trying to convince a girl that you could read minds, isn't that exactly what you would say? Like, yeah, I can't read your mind. It's so frustrating. That way you wouldn't have
I
to
would
prove
never
it.
be caught in a position where I was convincing a woman that I could read people's
But
minds.
then you wouldn't have to prove, like, that's something, but, like, that's the best way to do, because then it's like, you wouldn't have to prove it, because it's like, oh, I can read every mind but yours. You know, like, and that's the perfect way for him not to. For her
You'd
not to
still
be like,
have to prove it. If any self-respecting woman was starting to believe that, she'd be like, hold on, let me get my friend Kim. Kim, come over here. Have him read your mind. He's so good. And then he'd
He's
be
so
like,
good.
fuck, because he wouldn't be able to read Kim's mind either.
Yeah,
Kim is the way we write that out.
But it's just insane to me that she just believes it. She's just like, yes, that sounds about right.
Because her only personality is being sad, wooden, and fanatical.
Which, to be fair, is how it happens, like, in the source material.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, insane to me. Because she like, before they have that interaction in the book, she has more time to, like, get to know him and, like, kind of be more certain that something supernatural is going on. But thus far, it's just, like, you've seen him save you from a car, which may or may not be a supernatural act, because it very well could be the adrenaline thing. He has then stalked you, somehow managing to be exactly where you are at the time of your need.
And literally
And then
admitted
now he's
Okay,
told
I
you-
will make an argument on the Bella character's behalf. Even if she could believe that adrenaline thing,
Yeah.
nothing makes you fast enough to get over to the car in time, and she knew where he was.
Yeah, I mean, like, she could have
Yeah.
believed it's gaslighting or whatever, but,
Yeah.
and then he stalks her, and then he says, yeah, I can read minds. Like, if I were her, I'd be like, okay, you're a crazy person, and I'm running for the fucking hills.
I bet he'd catch you because he's fast. Because he's a vampire.
Correct, but instead she's just like,
Where
yeah,
you going,
okay.
Spider Monkey? And just runs up right behind her.
But yeah, he's
Oh
like,
my
I can read
goodness.
minds, and she's just like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I would be like, prove it.
Or like he even makes fun of like how really fanatical she is by going like, you're going to a dinner with vampires and you're worried about them judging you, you stupid fucking bitch. Like, that's horrible. Like, why does he have to keep bringing out the fact that she's like overly fanatical with him? Like, he's endeared by how obsessed she is.
Yeah, no, he definitely
and
is.
it's fucking gross. It's gross. It's so gross. It makes me so mad. Sorry.
It's fucking wild.
It's just such a frustrating film sometimes.
Like, he's just a frustrating character. And, like,
Correct.
neither Jacob nor Edward, which is who her choice ends up being, are good people.
Well, I think Jacob's
Like,
a better person.
I
I think he's
He
a
also
better.
want to fuck her baby, though.
That's my
no,
problem with it.
No.
Hold on. I
He
also
wants
Oh my
to
God.
take care of the baby and
With
help
his
out with
penis.
the
Go.
baby.
until the baby
with
is
his
old
dog
enough to like
penis.
legally
With
fuck
his
it.
dog penis.
Maybe no. He explains what imprinting on something is.
remember, I
It doesn't
read it.
mean it's not a sexual thing.
This
It's
is
like
why
a
the
soul
Mormons
tie
have,
thing.
like, a child bride fucking assault situation.
It's a soul tie thing. It's like
Yeah,
he
that's
feels
exactly
like
what
this
the
is like his
fucking
anger to the
Mormons say. That's why
world.
they have scandals all the time.
Okay, can we also talk about how like
stressed.
I'm
Jacob
sorry
like
to the Mormon
forced
church.
himself
Please don't,
onto
like-
Bella? Do you remember that? Does anyone else remember that? 'Cause he
Wasn't she
forced-
freezing to death or some shit?
No, that was after
There
she
was a
was
scene,
freezing.
however, when she was freezing to death.
And then Edward had to watch, like, Cuck watch.
I love
But
that.
yeah, like, well, I think it's like werewolves run really hot. Which should be enough, but no, they have to like take their clothes off as well.
I just love when
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
Edward's
he's holding her,
just-
he's like, she's gonna freeze. It's so bad. Oh, I wouldn't care. Like,
after
let her
that-
die. It's not worth it. Especially if you're Edward, who's already like so selfish. How is that character not like, get off her, just let her die?
I mean, he is-
I'll turn her right now. Fuck this shit. You're not fucking her right in front of me, dude. You fucking weirdo.
Like, and
Like-
the crazy wild thing about Jacob is that he's been in love with Bella this whole time, right? Because the fucking egg that would become her baby is inside of her.
I love it.
I hate it.
I never thought about it like that. Oh no.
But then conversely, like, shouldn't he also be like kind of hot on Edward because that like the sperm is inside of him?
You know
Oh,
what?
shit.
You know what? You just made a lot of fangirls
And
bring up
the-
past memories
yeah,
of fan
baby.
fiction.
And Edward is the one that like determines the gender. Blah, blah, blah. Is his,
Oh,
the
because the
sperm.
man determines the gender, I guess.
All right, we're
Sperm-
getting too scientific here.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
go ahead and we're gonna peel that back.
Okay.
We're gonna
Um,
retreat.
But you
But
think that he should be
also-
more into Edward because Edward's
feel
got more
like
to
it.
do with the process?
I feel like that this is a moment where we're stretching a little bit to get what we want.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
God.
just fucking around, but I think that like literally is the reason. I think he says that or implies
He says
it, that it's
in like the
it's
book,
because
at
this-
least.
But what makes it weird is he was sweet on her when they were kids. So like little kid him was like that egg inside of this
Well,
little
he
girl.
didn't know that it was that was what it
and
was
it's
about.
not a He
Right.
literally doesn't even know he's a werewolf yet in this like current one.
But
It's
yes,
really-
but he's
yeah.
always
It's
attracted
more-
to her
I just wanna-
because of
Yeah.
what's in her.
Can I just talk about how bad his acting was too? It's really more of a scary story, and then he goes
Shark Boy did great. All right, leave him alone.
Oh, Shark Boy.
But okay, going back briefly though, Jacob sucks too because he forced himself like on her after
I truly don't
When?
remember. But
after like right before the fight. They got out of the tent and he was like talking to her and he like fucking tries to kiss her. And I think he does kiss her and she like breaks his hand by punching him.
She wasn't like it wasn't like a force like kind
it was
of
a forced.
But the thing is,
It was a forced
He was
kiss.
like,
I'm
it's
out
like
of
when
this
you
one.
like grab a dog and like try to get it to calm down. It's like
No. He
It's-
tried to kiss her. He kissed her. She punched him in the
And
face.
Jacob is very consistently like, "Fuck me, Bella,"
well,
Always.
all right,
because she's got that little baby in her.
I'm just gonna say that I fully agree.
like I will
I'm
not.
absolutely
trying
in
to
agreement
make
with
her
you guys.
see
Also,
what
like,
a
can you-
human, like
can-
what being like a human is, and
No,
like trying to
that-
make her
that's
feel
not
something.
what he
Can
was
you
doing.
imagine? I just want to say, like, can you imagine if Bella had chosen Jacob? They had fucked.
No.
They had made that little baby.
No,
And then
stop it
Jacob
right
is
there.
like,
But wait, that wouldn't work out though.
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
how
it's
would that not work
specific-
out?
Because
He
it's
would've just not
specifically that
imprinted on him.
fusion, right? Like
Yeah.
that fusion of Edward and Bella.
oh, well, maybe. I don't
I
but-
mean,
but
but
it's
he like
implied that
weird.
he's-
He like kind of wants to fuck. Like, oh no, we gotta stop.
We gotta quit. Okay,
We're
I
getting,
changed my mind.
we're getting on
I
Pornhub
changed my
front
mind, I
page
changed my
now. We
mind.
gotta get away from this.
But anyway, it's fucking weird.
This will never be ad supported.
Oh no.
This is never going to make revenue. This episode.
That's
I'll
fine.
admit that now.
Sad.
But
Um,
fuck Jacob. Fuck Edward. Not literally. Neither of those
Yeah,
people
like
should
fuck
you fuck.
everybody else. I'm supportive of Bella. Like be
And
that
her
crazy
lesbian.
vampire bitch.
I like the overly emo stiff guy, the one who's with the
Jasper.
I like him.
Oh, his storyline is good. I like
He's
his
seen-
I mean,
He
he
was
was
a
a
Confederate
Confederate, though.
soldier, though.
Yeah.
at a time where being a Confederate soldier probably wasn't much of a choice, right? I mean, I gotta
Yeah,
imagine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
And hasn't he? And if we can't let people change, just saying. I'm just saying.
I feel like Jasper might still be a little racist. He's
Really?
really new to this whole thing.
Really? You think is
No,
the
I'm-
story
I
he comes
know,
off
I'm just-
actually racist?
No, I'm just playing.
Because I'm like, why would they present him in such a likable like form? Like, why
No,
would they
I'm
make him a
kidding.
He's
likable
not
person?
very likable. This.
I mean, he doesn't really do much.
In this, but I've seen the other films, and I liked the character as it went on. I like that character in
Yeah.
particular.
in New Moon when he goes absolutely feral.
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
But here's the thing. Now this might be a little too heavy for this, but I have people in my life or friends in my life who had substance abuse issues or
Right.
addictions.
Yeah, no.
And that character's really relatable because he is like a fuck up, but he's trying really fucking hard. And so in comparison with Edward, who's like, oh, he's so perfect already, but he's like a total fucking dickhead and almost ate his girlfriend, but people think that he's fine. But the Jasper
Right.
character, like you guys just insinuated, is maybe racist or horrible.
But no, I was just playing about that. But no, like, and Jasper in that New Moon movie, which I also like New Moon.
I like that a lot better than Twilight. I mean,
But
I could
like-
actually sit and watch.
But like
New
that
Moon.
character is representative of like the danger of this lifestyle for Bella because it's like, yeah, this could really happen. This this is a real danger, and it's not Jasper's
And
fault
she
either.
ignores it. Just absolutely throws
Because
it
she's
out the
so
window.
in love.
Because she's so fanatical. There's a difference.
Yeah, she's so obsessed with him.
Being
that's
in
why
love
him-
and being obsessed is two separate things.
And like she was already kind of depressed, but like then he leaves her, and she like
Just
her
shut
world is
the
ending.
fuck down.
Dude, just absolutely.
Like, honestly, that's probably why that was my favorite book. Like, she just, like,
Bridget was depressed.
I was depressing. I am depressing.
I suffered from night terrors and depression and stuff, so I can relate to that part of the character too. I think that there are some issues in regards to the conclusion of that,
yeah,
though.
which is just like, oh, my
Yeah.
boyfriend came back, so
Yeah.
I'm happy again.
Listen, now that I have a
Yikes.
nice, right boy, I'm fine. All I needed to fix me was a different person.
Correct.
That's not okay.
Like, go to therapy, Bella.
Please, I'm begging
Oh, and
you,
when
Bella.
she starts like acting out to like see visions of
yeah,
him.
she's like, maybe I will fuck Jacob. I don't know. I'm gonna get on this motorcycle though with another gaggle of rapists. They're all over these films. Where are these fluffle of rapists coming from?
I know. Why does every rapist live in Forks, Washington?
No, they live in Port Angeles.
That's right.
Oh, right.
I took note of that because I'm never going there because there's gaggles of rapists everywhere.
On
And a
motorcycles.
weird fucking hipster Olive Garden where the waitresses are from the 1960s and will act fucking weird to you. I'm never going there. Never going there. And the bookstore looks shitty. It had like 8 books in it.
The guy looked nice, though.
I'm not attacking him.
It's just a shitty bookstore.
Yeah, it's just shitty. But I worked at shitty places. I worked at a video rental store. That's not a good place to work in these days.
In these day and ages.
Yeah, I can't with this film. I can't.
Do you guys want to know the fun little story of how I stumbled across Twilight?
Wouldn't it be funny if I was like, no, and we just ended?
Nope, that's the end of the podcast.
Bridget, you
know,
I know you trust us enough to share, but like, I really, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And then we just play the music. It's just like,
And we come back, it's like, so Bridget's decided to leave.
We're no longer doing this
We've
podcast
replaced her
with
with,
Bridget.
with Dwight, and you just hear sneezing.
Oh,
on the microphone.
no.
He's just like,
He punches it again.
nice. All right, please tell us.
Okay. So picture little fifth grade me.
I thought you were gonna say 5-year-old. I was like,
5-year-old
wow,
me.
you were
I thought I was
advanced.
about to say
I'm like,
5-year-old.
hold on, how old are you?
So here I am. I'm allowed computer time, which would soon be revoked.
Oh no.
Not because of Twilight, because I signed up for an eHarmony account. And I,
You did not. In 5th grade?
She was looking for love.
in all the wrong places.
Oh
my
my god. You went
God.
to eHarmony, not like
ChristianMingle.com.
not
And it
like
was-
my yearbook or
Hold
something
on. I
trashy.
feel
You
like
went to
there has to be-
eHarmony.
eHarmony.
No, Bridget was on my yearbook too. Don't even fucking.
That was
ask.
later. That was
Hold on,
later.
hold on. Can we pause this story for a
'cause my
second so I
mics
can
are-
go
my
pee
mic
and
is
all that
unplugged.
stuff? Yeah, let's
Or
just
not
pause for a
mic,
second.
but like my headphones are.
We're gonna
unplugged.
pause. We laughed so hard we had the
Right.
Stick.
So Bridget was telling us about how she was on eHarmony.
Yes, let's please hear this.
I was. So in 5th grade, I was like, I'm going to be on eHarmony. Wouldn't that be swell? Because I saw the commercials all the time.
Composed of grown adults. There were no children in the eHarmony commercials. It was not advertised to you.
I don't know.
She's
I
an
said-
old soul.
eHarmony for kids.
I got in as far as putting in the credit card information.
Oh no.
Yeah. But as a child, I was really obsessed with Warriors, the Warrior Cat books, which is cringy as fuck.
Yeah, that
so
is.
I made this little cat on MS Paint, and that was my profile picture.
On eHarmony.
Yes. And my mom had told,
Her little MSP cat.
You know, did you actually get to make the full account?
like, I made all the preferences and all of that stuff.
Like, did you do like a free trial?
No, I didn't do the free trial. I don't think they had free trials, or I didn't sign up for one. It wanted
That'd
me
been
to,
incredible.
and I lied about my birthday. The first time I did that of many a time.
I can't tell if Franny's sleeping or just looking at her phone.
Looking at my phone.
She's
Oh,
being
okay.
rude, of course.
No, I wasn't being rude.
Okay. Rude.
I just think rude's the best way. Fucking
Um,
Edwards bullshit.
But yeah, so how my dad found out about that was he was just kind of like fucking around on my computer, and by fucking around I mean looking at my search history to make sure I wasn't like, you know,
on eHarmony.
doing something like on eHarmony, and he found out that I was on eHarmony. In fact,
Some parents find their
And-
kids on like Pornhub or something like that. Your parents
Omegle.
found you. Omegle. That's what my dad found me on.
Chat roulette.
And threatened to throw my
Rude.
laptop in the lake. What your parents found you on was eHarmony.
correct. And
She
so
was just like, I'm just trying to be a dignified woman over here.
I'm just trying to look for my forever person. You know?
They always
So-
look so happy on the commercials.
they did. They looked so happy. But
Were you trying to catfish as an adult?
no, I mean
Just trying to
maybe,
catfish
I
as
don't
a
know.
cat.
I hadn't really
Oh God.
I hadn't like thought it through that far.
This sounds bad, but I think she was just lonely.
I was lonely. I was like 5th grade was when like my depression like peaked.
I mean, all those years
As a
of
child,
corn,
my
I
child
know how it
depression.
is.
Like that's when it actually like started to get bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So I he found it on my search history, and she said, "Is this you?" And I said, "No." And he said, "I know that this is you because it's the little cat person that you put on all your logos. It's your little logo." And I said,
What a detective.
"It's not me. I don't know where that came from." And he said, "Bridget, this picture's on your computer. You made it." And I said, "I don't know where that came from. It wasn't me." And he's like, "So you're telling me that somebody came through the window?" This is, mind you, this is like a 2nd-story computer room.
Computer room.
It was a computer room.
That's some white people stuff right there.
That's just some like
computer rooms.
2000s business. Right
The computer room was my dad's room, and our computer was being burned to the back because we had a lamp behind it with no lampshade on it. So it was burning the back of our monitor for years.
Oh
It
God.
was melted on the back.
That's
My computer
so
room at my
funny.
dad's was in the basement until he found out we were on IMVU all the time. That I wasn't allowed in the basement.
love
to use
Oh
the computer.
no! I did IMVU for a while, but I was like 14.
Oh God, I was like 12.
Oh no!
Or
Wait,
younger.
that sounds about right though, because you'd be I mean
Yeah,
that's
about
about when
the
it'd be
age
popular, right?
difference,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he interrogated me for a while, and I
And
said
Bridget
yes.
was like, it wasn't me.
I was like, was it me? And it was like, yes, somebody
Were you
did
dying on the hill? You were like committed
For a
to
while.
It
this
wasn't
lie?
me.
for a while. He was like, so you're telling me somebody climbed in the 2nd-store window? And I said, yes, Dad. That must be what happened because it wasn't me.
There's no other explanation.
And then my mom got home,
Giving her an extra.
and my dad was like, go to your room. And at this point, I'm like sobbing hysterically. Like I threw myself down on that, like, you know those rugs with like the little scenes, like the little town,
Wait, what do you mean you threw
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
down?
like onto the rug.
Wait, you dove into the rug?
No,
Temper tantrum, like throw yourself on the ground, like temper tantrum.
it wasn't a temper. It was just I was
It
like
was a temper
upset. Yeah, it
tantrum.
was. You're right.
So you threw yourself onto the ground
Yeah, yeah.
over eHarmony?
well, because her dad was mad at her.
Okay, it's starting to get pieced together here.
So yeah, it was a very traumatic experience. Probably more for my parents than for me. But then they put some parent software on there, and it would only let me go on my computer into the internet at certain times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And to
I
only
just like
certain
the image of
websites.
Bridget just like sobbing on the little town rug, you know.
Aww.
Just kicking her arms up and legs up.
Never
I
gonna
want to
find
find
my perfect man.
I want to be happy like the paid actors on those commercials.
Correct. That was exactly. Anyway, after this,
Oh my God.
so I was really into Warriors, and I
Everybody wants to
found
be a cat.
everybody wants to be a cat, dude. So I was on this this chat room website that somebody had made. It was a Warriors role play site.
Oh no. Get it out of here.
It
I'm
was so bad.
disgusted.
And like I can still hear the little dong of the like of the like
Your choice of words are always so good. Okay.
I can still hear the dong.
You still hear little dongs.
the sound of the chat when somebody would would comment or leave or whatever.
Yeah.
Little
But-
dings. You mean the little dings? Not the,
Yeah.
not the little dongs.
The little dong.
Maybe gong works, ding works. You cannot combine the
Dong.
The little dong.
two. You know, dongs. You know the little gings. Sorry.
So I was on this website and I was just like, you can like, so they had like, it was a make your own website kind of thing for free. And so every single
Squarespace, if you want to sponsor, just throw that out there.
you can make your
Don't
own.
be like Bridget. Use Squarespace.
Yeah, Squarespace. All right, so if you use code,
I'm just saying that is what we could do for you, Squarespace.
yeah, work out.
We can really integrate it.
All jokes aside, for
Good.
listeners, we're coming up soon on getting some ads. Just throwing that out there. So don't get used to this ad-free shit. We gotta get paid, baby. Get used to that.
But we'll make it fun.
We'll make it
integrate
fun.
well.
We'll
we will not take any Bloomberg ads, no
No.
Trump ads.
We do have
Oof.
standards.
I think eHarmony will really be like biting at the bit for us right now. But we'll
I
see.
would
Oh,
advertise
yeah.
for Harmony. Bridget can speak to her own personal testimony.
Yeah.
I will
It's so good, it's gonna make you throw yourself on the rug and cry.
on the town rug.
It's so good, even children went on.
Oh
You know,
God.
Back in the 2000s, online dating was pretty controversial, as you can see by Bridget's story. But now, that's how most people meet their spouses. And what better way than eHarmony?
eHarmony.com /
Get your first month
crosscut
free
cinema.
with code.
Crosscut cinema.
This is what we could do. But this is our audition. We're putting ourselves
You know,
out
it's
there
fu-
for you.
I'm just gonna. I had a dream that we were sponsored by Blue Apron, and the code was Crosscut Cinnamon.
I love that.
Blue Apron, if you're listening,
Blue Apron, please.
please, baby,
For the love of God.
we would do this for you.
That'd be so good. I'm sorry. That was a dream. that I
Like
had.
we can do everything. We can the crown molding,
Yeah, the crown-
the light.
Good morning, Blue Apron.
Good morning, Blue Apron.
My sweet, my soon to be my everything.
I'm just saying,
My soon to be my every meal.
whatever. But yeah, like whatever you are, whatever service you provide, whatever you offer, aside from like Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, not Mike Bloomberg.
we're not helping you out, buddy.
We can do Adam and Eve. I think that's fine. I know
Oh
that would
yeah,
That'd be
controversial.
fun.
yeah, that would be
It's
fun.
controversial before on YouTube, and now that it's out there, it's like Adam, Eve, whichever one of you wants to reach out first.
Like, please.
Eve.
Yeah, we're we're like forget Adam.
Forget Adam. We don't
Eve.
need him.
Okay. Anyway, is there more to your story?
Yes, there is.
certainly is. Because we haven't even gotten to how she discovered Twilight yet.
That's your point.
That was just like a fun little backstory. It was a bonus. So on this website, there were like several pages for like the different locations that your character could go, and each of them had Logan's face.
Sorry. I have a lot of. I've been doing D&D since 4th grade, and I never did like the online like role play stuff, but all my friends did, and it cringes me out a little bit. I'm sorry.
Like, I mean, fair enough. It was like, it was bad.
It's really fun to read though. After
Oh
like,
yeah,
years,
Bridget has found
years
some
later,
of her old ones, and we've read them, and it's really funny.
Yeah, I feel like we
think
should do
a
this.
spin-off podcast where we just read aloud Bridget's old.
I have
roleplay
so many of them
text.
saved.
Oh my God, yes.
My buddy name redacted, but Franny, you know it starts with a Z.
Oh.
He read me his vampire assistant fan little stuff and little role plays, and boy oh boy,
Was it a Z?
they can still hear you, so
Yeah,
I
you're
can't answer.
sort of inaudible.
But let's just put it this way: the rumors in which that person was on the gay side of things.
I
of
know which
life,
one now.
This would re-empower that theory.
Yes!
Because
Perfect timing, right as he's about to.
I mean, it was like one or two like lines short of corrailing like John C. Reilly's balls. Like it was some fiery stuff.
Can you read that at said person's wedding?
Mermaid pussy.
Yeah. Please go on. You're making me remember how I got into Twilight, actually, but you go on. I want to hear yours.
So I was my little cat was going to the little stream
Mm-hmm.
in this, and I found these people that were like role playing as I would later understand to be Edward and Bella.
Oh God!
And,
oh no! I'm
um,
upset.
Bella had been turned into a vampire and apparently had gone after a human.
But they were also
and-
cats, right? On top of
No, they were human. They're
Also,
they
they
were
were doing their own
vampires.
separate thing.
They were doing their own separate thing just on this website that everyone else was using as cats.
That's kind of like fucked up. It's like they literally crashed your guys' cat party. Just a bunch of normies walking in the room with a bunch of cats laying around.
Correct. But so to punish Bella for going after a human, to punish her, to keep her from doing that.
You killed all the cats.
I mean, it probably would have been a better ending with than whatever actually happened in that roleplay anyway, because I don't even remember. Although I did have a boyfriend in that, and he was 17, and I was 10.
Was he actually 17 and you were
Yes.
You were openly 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, how? When you say boyfriend,
Wee
like,
woo,
what
wee
do
woo,
you
wee
mean?
woo.
Like, why don't you have a seat right there?
He was in the military, so I don't really know if he was actually real.
I think he was a 14-year-old who was not in the military and was probably very awkward.
Probably yes.
Probably.
Or it was a 10-year-old who wanted to be in the military when he was 17.
Like, he sent me a
So
picture
That's
of
what
his
we're going
face
to
one day.
pretend
But
was happening. Wait,
yeah.
He sent you pictures?
Of his face.
What does his face look like? Like
Like-
a 17-year-old in the military?
Yeah.
Wee woo, wee woo. Wee woo, wee woo.
But, like, also then his sister would, like, come on and be like Frost Claw is at the military.
Frost
right?
Claw! Bitch, that was not his fucking
Is at
sister.
the military right
That
now.
was not his
That was
sister,
another
dude.
account he had that he was letting you know.
That he was legit.
You were in a web of Frost Claw's life. You were tangled in this
Frost
I
web.
really
Claw.
was.
Frostclaw, if you're out there.
Frostclaw, if you or one of your 30 accounts that I'm sure you used to trick Bridget into this world of Frostclaw is out there, we would like to interview on the podcast.
Like, please.
We'd like you to take a seat.
So,
Anyway, to punish Bella for eating a human or whatever she did.
A human.
Hibachi. Look at that Benihana.
when they crack a little egg on
Yeah.
the side, I love when they do that.
Wait, this is the best part. This is the onion volcano.
Yeah, I love that shit. Eat that shit up. You know what ruined my life is when I like went to a hibachi grill other than the one that I had like always been to and realized that they just do the same moves.
All of them do the same
There's no
moves.
fucking originality. Art is fucking dead.
I remember I went to Fuji Steakhouse and multiple times. This was for Franny's birthday. I was like, this is the weirdest looking Benihana. Because I literally assumed that it was a Benihana because of how dead on it was. And you're like, no, this is like a different place. And I'm like, how so? And she couldn't like explain to me the
I've never been
differences.
to Benihana. That's the only one I've been to.
And then your family made me drink sake, a lot of sake.
How old are you?
I was 21. She was younger.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that you were like 20, you were legal and they were not just like forcing you
Here
to.
you go, little boy.
Here, but I don't think anybody can legally force you to drink things, and that's what was happening anyway. So just saying.
Yeah. Oof.
But anyway, so you found this like role play, and that's what inspired you to like get into Twilight.
Well, I didn't tell you what was happening when I found them.
Okay.
So I came in. I was doing my little cat thing. I don't know what I was doing, you know.
Ball yarn, you know. An afternoon.
Yeah.
Whatever cats do.
We were, you know, whatever they do. And I was going into the stream. And Edward was dunking Bella's head under the water and saying things like, "Bad Bella.
No.
Don't eat."
And you were like, yes, that's the content I want to consume.
I was just like,
Mermaid pussy.
yeah, I just said mermaid pussy. And I just was like, what the fuck are you doing? And they're like, can you get out of our role play right now?
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
God.
And I said, no, what are you doing? Who are you? And they said it was Twilight. And then I was like, hey, Mom, can I read Twilight? And she was like, no. I'm going to read it first. And then she read every single Twilight book before me to make sure it wasn't inappropriate.
And then she still let you read it?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Right.
Someone dropped a ball or two. Okay, well.
I discovered Twilight because I was in I guess like a gifted program, which I know is shocking because I'm a big dummy.
No.
Dude, me too, though. And then we go into this gifted program, and they're like, what are these people doing?
But
Like
so
the
the way
same.
that the gifted program would go was that like our school didn't have it, so we would have to get on a bus and go to a different nearby school to do their thing. Like it was in our district, but it was in our school. And so one of the other kids in the program, his name was Gianni. Very, Italian and exotic. I don't know if he was actually Italian. He probably wasn't. I don't know. I mean, he was like,
It's your
know.
narrative.
Whatever.
You could tell us he's wearing a giant chef hat and a fucking big mustache, and it would be just as real for
Whatever.
us.
But anyway, his name was Gianni, and like I had like a weird like kind of crush on him. I was also because my friend at the time liked him, and I think that was sort of more
You
what it was
also
about.
love the Italian lifestyle. You want to be like the Italian housewife.
I don't actually think he was Italian. I don't really know. But I was in fifth grade. But anyway, I think it was more because my friend liked him that I liked him. Like I just like had a thing going on. But anyway, he was reading Twilight, and he like took pains to defend Twilight to me. Like it's not just like a girl's book. Like it's really good. I'm just telling you as it happened.
I know. I'm just reacting.
And then he sort of let me read his Twilight book, I guess, while we were either on the bus or while we were in class or whatever. And I was like, wow, this is great. And then I actually went and bought it for myself and stuff. And then I also remember before Breaking Dawn came out, there was like a leaked version of I'm pretty sure. Franny, is this right? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Are you
this 'cause
talking about like the Life and Death book, or are you talking about?
No, I'm pretty sure that there was like something that was leaked, like that she had written.
My sister went to the like book like release party, so.
But I could be wrong, but maybe
I'm
not.
not sure.
But I remember
I
having
wasn't allowed to
this,
look it
I
up.
remember this having this like binder with like printed pages in it.
Full of women.
Yes. I think I remember that. I remember there was some kind of like sub story, something. Leaked.
Yeah, that he had, but he had it, and then like I remember that clearly, and then I remember when Breaking Dawn came out, and I asked my mom if I could get Breaking Dawn, and she was like, "Well, I don't think that's very appropriate for you," and I was like, "Why isn't it appropriate?" And she's like, "Well, it's just like not," and I come to find out later that it's because like Breaking Dawn is when they actually finally fuck. So I think
It
that
really
was it.
wasn't
But-
very descriptive, if I remember
Right.
right.
I mean, he
wasn't.
definitely like brutalizes her in this fucking.
He does.
Like it's not on
Hell
purpose or
yeah.
anything, but he's like strong as shit. So she like wakes up and
Yikes.
she's like covered in bruises and the bed is all broken and stuff.
And then she's like, "I'm ready again."
Right? She was like, "Give me more."
And he's like,
That's probably what sparked 50 Shades of Grey. Honestly, was that
It
like?
really
Honest
did.
to
It's
God.
Twilight fan fiction.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know, but
but
I mean,
like
like
that-
probably like that scene
That scene in
specifically,
particular.
because he's like tearing up pillows and like beds are breaking and shit. But yeah, that's how I found Twilight. So shout out to Gianni because you really brought us here. Let me see if I can find him. I'm gonna find him on the social media.
I saw the first film with a bandmate who played guitar and was convinced that this was going to be like a super metal movie.
Why?
Because the trailers were kind of not real. Like they were like, you know, fantastical and all that stuff, but it was also about a fucking vampire, you know what I mean? Like, so we saw it. Michael, if you're out there, you know what I'm talking about. He loved it.
So this is
And I hated it.
him. He's obviously the guy.
The most, if you're out there, buddy, the most not Italian looking man I've seen in a long time.
I haven't looked at him in a long time, and I just thought Gianni was
I expected like a bowl of pasta.
Well, I just thought the name Gianni.
That is an Italian name.
Yeah,
I went to Pride.
He's gay?
I don't think he's gay. I think he's a girlfriend.
You can go to Pride. and
Gianni,
be
if
gay.
you're out there.
Gianni, are you gay? Because I just
Johnny,
remember
could you donate to our Patreon?
Well, I just remember you so much defending Twilight as like not being a girly thing to me, and maybe you don't remember this interaction at all.
What if you're like defaming him right now and it wasn't him?
No, I'm pretty sure it was him. Because there's
We'll
a
see.
very limited number of people it could be.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Gianni or Kayla or Joe.
All doxed just now. Guys, we know you're out there. We know you love Twilight. We know you're going to defend it. Without a doubt.
I mean, he probably isn't Italian. His last name isn't very Italian.
He doesn't look a fucking lick of Italian at all.
I don't remember what he looks like very
mean,
clearly.
All
I just
four
remember
people
he
at
looks
this table,
Italian.
including the Italian, think that all four of us look more Italian than that man. So,
I mean, I don't know, man.
no, dude. No.
Whatever.
Also, I just want to shout out to Stephanie Meyer for like convincing me to write terrible short stories in middle school. Thanks.
Shout out to Stephanie Meyer for putting her art out there in general. Shout out to artists. Even if people
Yeah.
don't like it, you put yourself out there and you did your best.
Yeah, sure.
What? You don't like Stephanie Meyer?
I don't know.
It's weird. You just defended the absolute shit out of Twilight, but
No, I don't know. I don't have any thoughts about Stephanie Meyer particularly. Should we do ratings now?
Yeah.
I mean, because I think,
Yeah.
well, I know Franny wants to watch The Bachelor.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
guys,
That's
we're
right.
really creeping up on my bachelor time here.
You're
Also,
you're
like, not
you're
to talk-
such a horrible person.
Not to talk about this on the podcast, but like, are we gonna like eat? Should I like order food? Should I put in a DoorDash order right now?
I'm starving.
I too.
We're
am starving.
starving.
I
I don't
could
know
eat.
what we're doing for dinner yet.
Yeah, we don't
I
know.
could eat.
Okay,
Madison.
so let's.
We're broke till
Her
Thursday.
arm.
Yeah.
We're broke.
Rude.
as
We've got a frozen pizza and some lasagna.
I could really fuck around with some Chipotle right now. I tried to get Bridget to go out for Mexican earlier today, and she couldn't. She wouldn't do it.
Let's just all go to Super
then
Hong Kong buffet.
And then I grilled the cheese
then we will
instead.
mix the Bachelor.
I know, but Super Hong Kong
Logan!
buffet. Okay.
This
fine.
is
Okay.
a non-negotiable.
Whatever. Okay, ratings on Twilight. Go.
6. No. 3.
3.
Wait, what? No way. No way.
And then 3.
Oh, wait.
That was
What?
a genuine
6.
moment.
Wait, no,
That was
wait,
genuinely
3.
was 7. Wait. 3. I forgot what numbers
that
mean.
your
I'm
final
throwing
answer?
them out. I'm just saying the ones I remember.
Is that your final answer?
Pie. 10:22.
Her
10:22.
brain has malfunctioned.
Like,
You should have seen her face during this. She looked just as freaked out as she sounded.
yeah. You would have
4.
thought. You thought if they were going to his.
She just spews out 4.
What is the real rating, Bridget? This is out of 10, not out of
It's a
Goobillies
6.
or whatever the fuck. Not out of.
No,
You've
5.
said it every time.
All right, Bridget. On a scale from 1 to 10, or on a scale from A to F, completely eliminating the letter E, what is your grade?
Hiccups right now. I said I have the hiccups.
No, get out of here.
My name's Thea, and I got the hiccups. Anyway,
I'm gonna go back with 6.
6 out of 10.
So
She
your
got 6 out of
final
10.
answer.
It has to be. We have to
Yes.
move on. It's got to be the
Okay,
last answer.
I'm ready. 10 out of 10.
You're serious.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie of all
So
time.
Robert Pattinson can count on you to hate The Lighthouse, his hardest work,
Fuck The Lighthouse.
and love Twilight,
Twilight. It is his best work. Next is Remember
which he did
Me.
while he had sleep paralysis. just sat there and stumbled about. Okay, you want to go or do you want me to go? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give this. I want to be fair about it. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10.
A 2.
Get the fuck out of here. I have to rethink things,
I have the
guys.
fucking hiccup so bad right now. What?
Madison just
Bridget
got
just went
her
in my
ear
ear.
Is
just
it lesbian 1 or 2? Which one did it? You know, it all gets blended in my brain.
I'm so sorry about my hiccups. It sounds terrible, I'm sure.
Did I fix it?
one
You
of the
can't even-
lesbians grabbed the other and went.
There's not a
in
lot of
her ear.
dignifiers between you two if you can't look at each other either. It's like the one with the glasses, nope. The one with the nose ring, nope. Like which one?
Everyone says we look alike,
One
too.
with the curly hair. Nope.
Yeah, like what the fuck did you say?
Yeah, you guys do look like you could
Okay,
be
can I
related.
do my rating so we can take a pause and I can get over my hiccups?
All right, how many hiccups out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a C-.
Wow, that's really forgiving. That's what you gave fucking Marriage Story.
Is it?
It literally
It
is.
is.
I didn't like Marriage Story. I had more fun watching Twilight than I did Marriage Story.
Oh my god.
Rated
I
better.
maybe it's more of a C.
At least Twilight has some laughs.
Dude, Marriage Story has a lot of laughs.
You better hold
Eh.
on tight, Spider Monkey.
Okay, we'll be back.
Let's pause it right.
So we're back.
Wait, we've been back this whole time?
No, we just started right now.
Okay, so
Wait, did we
So,
just start right
you-
now?
no, we just
Stick in my
started.
little Valentino white bag.
Lipstick in my Valentino white bag.
What?
Lipstick
fine.
in my Valentino white bag.
I don't understand what's happening.
Haven't you
Oh
seen
my
that
god.
No.
No clue what you're talking about.
Okay,
She's
that's
like, Mom, I spilled lipstick in your Valentino white
And
bag.
she goes, lipstick in my Valentino white bag?
Yeah, divine.
Sounds like you had to be there.
It
I
certainly
mean-
does. Oh my god, you should see how high your levels are right now on my thing when you see Logans. Look at it, Bridget. Look at it. You can see it. Look at the fucking
Why
levels.
is it so loud?
I'm gonna turn it down a little. Okay, there we go.
Is this too loud or is that too loud?
Do it again.
Is this too loud or is that too loud?
No, we're good now. We've evened out.
Okay,
Great. I love doing sound checks as we film the podcast.
But yeah, so we watched The Bachelor. I just want to say, like, this is the first episode of The Bachelor I've ever watched, but I love it.
And it was Fantasy
And-
Suites. That was the one
And
we
like
started
Madison is a disgrace to our namesake because she's a bitch. She's acting like a cunt right now. She is.
She's
she is
not
really.
great.
I like how she's like, I'm not
Not
giving you an ultimatum,
this
but
Madison.
here's ultimatums.
We should start we should just make this a Bachelor
Hey,
podcast.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's make it number 114 billionth.
Are there
Bachelor.
really that many?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot.
Also,
never mind.
just throw out to another YouTuber. Follow Bachelor Fan Take on YouTube. Subscribe to him. He's
Oh
great.
my god, he's fucking awesome.
I'm not even a Bachelor fan, but I love his content. I
Fair
really
enough.
do.
And don't sit here and fucking pretend like you're not.
I'm
a
not. I
Bachelor
mean,
fan.
I can't call myself a
You
Bachelor fan when I've seen 2
proposed
episodes.
to me during The Bachelor during Colton's season. You fucking proposed.
Yeah,
so-
because all the other times I tried to propose to you, you said no.
No, I didn't.
Well, you might as well
No,
have. You're
I
like,
didn't.
she would be like, "This is a terrible place for somebody to propose." Looks at me with
Before
stank
he
eye.
went-
Did you know?
No,
that
I
he
had
was
no
going-
idea. I
You
didn't know.
had to have known
I
to say
did-
shit like
I
that.
swear to
She
God.
knew.
She-
I
dude, I
swear
fucking
to
know.
God, I did not know.
You had to have known to say
I
shit like
swear
that.
to
You had
God.
to have known.
I didn't. I called his bluff like the time he actually proposed. Because I was like, you don't have a ring. Like you're not anywhere near proposing to me. Like you don't have a ring.
And then I did.
And then
Like
he
you
did.
knew, bro.
Fuck you, buddy. But no, I literally was like, we were about to go to Festival of Lights. I'm like,
And then I said, and I quote, I was joking with him. Big emphasis on joking. And I said, you can't propose to me at Festival of Lights because my friend just got engaged.
no, you said because that's some basic shit. Don't lie for your friend that got proposed there. You said that's basic
Wow.
I said, oh, sorry, I just burped. I said, my friend just got.
shit. No. I have the proof. I have the receipts.
Oh God.
Don't give me that shit. I have it all ready.
All right,
What?
let's get on with the Bachelor and the. Wait, we're not a Bachelor podcast.
Let's get on with The Bachelor. So, Victoria F. or news. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing it. But
Because we wouldn't get any views. Because there's
I
already-
also pitched my movie, but I'm not gonna say it or the title because I don't want you all to
Yeah,
steal
you
it.
can steal it.
You can't take it because it's a good title. It's a good movie.
So
Yeah, we had
it'll
a
be
good
it'll
time.
be
They
the
liked
second
The
feature.
Bachelor.
Yeah, it's gotta be a second feature.
We're gonna
for
watch The
logistical
Bachelorette
CrossFed
together.
Media presents.
reasons. Yeah, but we might have my second feature. Hell yeah.
So we're talking about movies, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about Birds of Prey. I think. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yes.
We can do that.
That
So
was the plan.
this movie is so different from Twilight because this movie's so much fun.
We
And like Twilight
I
is
feel like
fun,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel
but
like Twilight's
it's
fun.
not intentionally fun. What? What's funny?
I just love how you were just like, let's just shit on Twilight in the first 5 seconds of this next movie when you were trying so hard to
No, I'm
defend
still
it.
going to defend Twilight, but I'm just saying, like, Twilight is not trying to be fun. It's not
No.
trying to be a fun movie to watch. It's trying to be an angsty teen movie.
Yeah.
And then Birds of Prey is like, no, we're going to have some fucking fun up in this bitch. And we do.
I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. A fun time.
You had what fun
I
time?
had a fun time.
That's a fun time.
Say how do you say book,
For the whole
babe?
family.
Book. You know, only real ones will know that I got that from a little YouTube series called The Most Popular Girls in School. And if you ever watched that shit, hit me up because you're a fucking real one.
Yeah, sub to us, then you can sub to them.
Yeah.
Was
Well, I
that
mean, you're probably already subbed to them. It's been going on a long time, but, like, that's totally where I get it from, and I just can't stop saying it because it's been so long.
Your dad says it too.
Yeah, because he watched it too, bitch.
Did he?
That's cute.
I guess it's cute. Like, we just kind of were, like, watching it one day, and we was like, what the fuck is this Barbie doll shit? And, like, we were like, here it is.
Aww.
So Birds of Prey.
Cesar Marguerite is a
okay,
fucking
or
liar.
Is it? There's actually multiple titles: Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of
The
One Harley Quinn.
Fantabulous
Fantabulous,
Emancipation of
right.
One Harley Quinn.
And then there's also Birds of Prey.
No, it's Harley Quinn.
No, there's 3 titles because there's also Birds of Prey. That's just Birds of Prey, and then there's Harley Quinn : Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
So whatever you called it, I would say this movie had a lot of faults and a lot of great things in it. It is a good mix of both.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this movie. But I'm also this movie's like target demographic.
I mean, like literally, this is like a lesbian fest, y'all.
Yeah, they made this movie with me in mind,
This
which is
Huntress
great.
is the
I
best
love
character ever.
every time Huntress came on the screen. I just looked at Bridget and I was like, I'm lesbian,
Like every
and I
single time.
was, and
She's
I
like,
am.
I'm gay, and I'm like, yeah, I know, we're dating.
Bridget was like, if I wasn't sure I was gay before.
So do we?
Yeah, I did say that.
Do we front load this with what I didn't like about it, or should we front load this with what everybody did like?
I mean, I think we can talk about what you didn't like first, because I feel like I have less that I didn't like than I did like.
Okay. So
And I mean, I have things I didn't like about it too.
well, yeah, this is what this
Oh,
moment's
okay.
for. Do you want to start?
No.
Too bad.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
God, okay.
start. I didn't like.
Oh,
the
so you do
over-
want to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking start.
She's gonna fucking start.
Okay, start.
She is woman.
I am a woman. That is what this movie wants you to know. I didn't like the overly "we hate men" message.
That was my favorite part.
I know. I literally got out of this movie and I was like, "Did Madison make this movie?" Like,
She literally did say that. She's like, oh my god, they're gonna like it so much.
And I did. It was my favorite part of the movie.
It
how
was
much we
overkill.
hated men.
especially at the end when it was literally a fight of men versus women.
Oh,
the
yeah,
men
that's the
were,
shit I like
Not
to
only
see.
that,
We're like
but
bad guys
incompetent men
inherently.
versus very competent.
That's the
women.
shit I like to see.
Shocking.
That's the shit I like.
It feels damaging to young women to see a movie about how much everybody should hate men.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, pump the brakes, shorty.
This is what I'm gonna stay out of. I'm so excited to stay out of it because I truly do not have a stake in this argument. Continue.
No.
It does.
She said
It's
no.
generalizing all men to be like this like evil thing. Like there's literally not a good guy in this movie.
They are, bro.
The one guy that kind of seems good in this movie, the like Chinese restaurant owner, turns out to be a slimy piece of shit.
That's what fucking men will do to you.
And not all of them. Not all of
Damn
them.
fucking
Women suck too.
You
Everybody
know,
sucks.
so many of the movies that young women get to see are about how they should be falling in love with a boy or, you know, about their relationships to boys. We don't really get a lot of these, like, really girl-centric movies. And, like, Bridget and Logan are just waving to each other. But, like, it's really good to see, like, a really woman-centered movie where it's like, yeah, like, these boys have done some fucked up shit to us, and now it's time for us to do some fucked up shit back because I'm tired of it. I'm not gonna fucking take your shit anymore, dudes. And, like, if that's sending the message that all men suck, then, like, I guess it is, and that's fine.
I think what you're saying is correct. Like, I think that is a good concept.
Well, you
But I
just
think
said
it was
that this
poorly-
movie is bad
I was saying it was poorly executed because there wasn't a single good guy in it. You would be very annoyed, Madison, if we went to a movie where there wasn't a single good female.
Do you know how many fucking movies that is?
Exactly,
There's
and you
this-
hate it. I'm
There's
sure
this-
you don't fucking like it.
There's this thing called the Bechdel test.
There's so
No, Bridget,
many.
you and I have to stay out of this.
Oh, I'm
There are
sorry.
So
Oh, you don't want me jumping in on Franny's side. I'm not. This is between them.
Are you to jump it up?
No. This
Okay.
is between you two.
I'm
This
letting
is
you
very
guys duke
clearly
this
a
out.
versus.
There are so
Oh my
many movies where all that the female characters do is worry about men and worry about how they're
And
going
you
to
would say
get
that's
their man.
damaging to women, right? To see a movie like that, or it's not good. That there's
I
so many
mean-
movies made like that. It's not good that there's a movie made like this.
Okay,
And
but
its target demographic is young women.
here's the difference. Here's what the difference is. Women don't have the option to see movies like this where they are the heroes and where they get to stand up and fight back against what men have put them through. Men have plenty of other movies that are not this one where they get to see themselves be the heroes. So many movies have these like huge ensemble men casts for whom women are there only as like arm candy or like object of desire. Like the clear example is like fucking Ocean's 8 was the new one, so that it would have to be
But
11.
Not to argue, but Ocean's 8 does the opposite,
Well, yes,
which
yes.
is cool. And people who didn't like that movie are dumb. because
Yeah,
it's
Ocean's
the,
8
it's
is
the
great.
exact
Oh,
same.
that was-
I was just trying to remember
I've never
which,
seen
like,
it.
I know it was like 8 is the ladies, then the next one would have to be 9, 10, 11.
The
I-
lemon.
I had to count the dudes in my mind.
I get
But
what you're
like,
saying.
you know what I
think
mean?
it's
Like,
good
men
that they're-
have so many options,
Yeah.
dude, for movies where they are the heroes of the action.
I don't think it's a bad thing that the women were the heroes in this. I just think like, they were going good, and I liked the movie up until that last thing, where literally the guy's like, men of blah, blah, blah. Like, let's go kill them. Like,
Gotham.
yeah, and it's like
Men
all
of
the
Gotham.
Men of Gotham.
I had
Men of
to, I
blah,
didn't
blah,
interject.
Men of Gotham.
I had to interject with that. I'm sorry.
But like,
Keep going.
It's just kind of overkill. It's like the media and everything is so saturated with this message of we hate men and all men suck. Right now.
Is it?
Was
Is
it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is it?
I need to back
all right,
out.
Here we go.
That
Here we
is
go.
the feminist agenda.
Here we go,
right
Bridget.
now.
You invoked me. Now we're all in
We're
this.
just
I'm sorry. I
We're
gotta
just
back
allowed to
out.
weigh
I'm
in.
sorry. I don't.
No, you
y'all
weigh in.
scared
No,
me.
this is not our fight.
No, babe, weigh in though, because like your opinion matters here too.
No, it's not that her
And so
opinion
does
doesn't matter.
yours.
It's not that her opinion doesn't matter. It's that you guys need to hash out what we're arguing about first, because I feel like you two aren't even on the same planet.
I feel like we're very much on the same planet.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay.
But I think that this movie speaks to a moment where, you know, you have the men's rights movement, for example, where it's like men are like, oh, feminism is like ruining our lives and we have to like stand up to these women. And like that's a little bit dated, like it's not so much important now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that we are at a moment where like dudes are like, oh, like these feminists, these women, like we have to stand up and reassert our dominance.
And you have to
as men.
ask something where a movie entirely villainizes the gender, if that is both just if that's like, you know, something that could affect that negatively or positively.
Yeah.
I think when you make a big budget movie where it's like fuck men, you're not to say fuck men is not inherently empowering women. Women can be empowered separate from men. It doesn't have to be in the same
No,
conversation.
I agree with that as well.
But this film is making that point at the end. And I think it's pretty inarguable that the character of Black Mask, who, by the way, in the comics, is actually inferred to be gay with Victor Zsasz.
I mean, I got that inference as well, but
my issue is that those characters are inherently more human in the comics than Harley Quinn is, and they're made out to be evil, white cis male type characters in this film. You may have looked behind the scenes and inferred the relationship, but those characters were represented as rapey, creepy, destructive males.
I mean, I want to say that like I've had gay men be very rapey, creepy, destructive males to me in my lifetime.
Okay, fair enough. But my point being that that's
So
the main goal of what those characters were, and the main character development had nothing. Those villains were blank and empty.
but how many times? But like throughout this, like you talk about the comics, them having more character than Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
I mean, Harley Quinn is often blank and empty,
Yeah, but
and so this is her moment to have her story.
my point being is, yet again, why is empowering a female character meaning we have to disempower a male one? Why does it have to be that you have to have a shitty, horrible male to show women that there's an empowering moment? I don't think that they have to be mutually exclusive. I think that they could have had an interesting, thoughtful villain that had actual meaning
I mean,
of what
I
they were
found the
doing.
villain. I found the villain's interesting.
What is the villain's mean? What is his meaning? What is his point? He's just stuck up and he's spoiled and he's an asshole.
Yeah,
and
but
he thinks
I mean,
he's owed
well,
a bunch.
well, yeah, and I mean, I think that that's like how plenty of people are.
But you're saying that the villain has a rich character. He doesn't. He is an archetype of a toxic male. I think that that's not necessarily empowering, because there can be a kick-ass Huntress movie, for example, without it having to be like, and the man is like total trash, and all men are total trash in the film. No, that's not me saying that there's anything really wrong with this movie.
But this is ultimately a movie about her having been burned before by dudes, just like this guy.
Yeah, but she burned people too. She's a horrible human being.
Yeah, and I think it's also her acknowledging that. I mean, I think that the movie acknowledges that she has done bad things.
I agree with that as well.
I agree.
I think that's
absolutely.
good that they acknowledge
But
that.
my point being is, there is definitely an overarching, like, over-the-top message of fuck men, women power, right, in the film, which I'm okay with the women power part. And ultimately, I'm really not that offended by the fuck men part either. I think that that's fine. But I hear Franny's point. I'm not saying that her point is totally moot. Like, it's not without reason. I see what she's saying when she says that can be a destructive concept. I'm not agreeing with her, but I'm not agreeing with you in full either that it is without, like, it's the best thing about the film.
Yeah.
I think it's the weaker part of the film.
I think that it's
I think the
good
strongest
that,
part of the film is the character of, like, Harley Quinn and the things that she goes through on her own. I think those are the powerful parts of the film.
Fuck
And Huntress,
yeah.
for the short amount we get her, she is a fucking badass League of Shadows fucking assassin. It didn't have to be about the toxic male energy of like all these dudes in Gotham, these fucking sexist assholes fighting these
But
women.
honestly,
and
but I
being-
mean, like, that's kind of the reality of how it can feel sometimes. Is like you're just surrounded by these fucking asshole dudes
Mhm.
who don't give a shit about you or like what you have to say or what you bring to the table.
But we talk
And
about
like it's
yeah.
and I don't think it's a bad thing to have a movie where it shows women standing up to the men who have treated them badly.
I think
And I think that it's fundamentally I think that it's I think it's good for women to see things where men aren't centered in that media.
Definitely, but
Definitely.
I think that
agree.
representation's important though. Not every dude is an asshole, and I didn't see myself anywhere on the screen. Now that's not me saying I don't see myself in other films, but if we're talking about a movie being successful and showing not only women power, but just a progressive concept of a film, showing more inclusion, I was left out of the equation entirely. The closest tie I had was fucking Bruce Wayne the hyena. Just honestly.
I mean, but honestly, like, not everybody has to be represented everywhere.
But that's actually the argument. Not everywhere, for sure. But what Franny's saying is, I see where she's coming from entirely. That's not me saying that she's absolutely right. But I could see why people would be turned off by this idea of not being represented on the screen in the same way that other people have been turned off and not being represented
But
somewhere
the
else.
other thing is, like, how many movies are there where all the men do in the movies is use women as either something to fuck or something to inflict violence upon? And so I'm not saying that it's. I lost my train of thought. But like there are plenty of movies where women are not represented, and where the movie treats women incredibly badly. And these are movies that I generally like and enjoy, but there are plenty of films that treat women horribly throughout. That even though that's not like an I hate women message, when all a woman gets to be in your film is either A, something to get murdered and fuel your revenge plot, or B, something for you to fuck, or
or both.
Or both
but you
sometimes. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
So like, but nobody's up in arms about those movies.
That's not true. Actually, you are a perfect example of people who are up in arms about
nobody.
I'd say actually this is a result of people being up in arms about this kind of films. And what I'm saying is,
but those are the kind of films that we've seen.
Let me finish. The pendulum can swing, and I think now this is an example of it possibly swinging in the wrong direction. We should not base future film and representation ideas completely on what happened in the past and treat it like, okay, since this happened before, this opposite extreme needs to happen now.
But I would say, too, that even in this movie, men are shown more care than women in a lot of other movies.
That's up to personal opinion.
I would agree.
I would argue that there's not a single man in this film that's treated well, or that's represented in any good way. Not a single one.
I do like that there are strong
if you can think of one,
leads to this, though. Like, I think it is important to give young girls and young women these awesome roles.
That's why I like the Ghostbusters movie that a lot of people don't like, because I think it does that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Without being super, like, over on the other side of things in regards to representation.
And, like,
I think there needs to be a medium.
Harley Quinn isn't exactly a role model character, but, like, her experience...
That's a fair point.
Yeah, her experience is something you can learn from and find yourself in it. I think there are better characters that women should, like, look at in this movie, like.
But also, like,
and
not every strong female character to grace the screen has to be a role model.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because, like, we don't expect male characters to be role models for our young boys.
Never.
But we expect it for our ladies sometimes.
I'd rather role models not be decided by fiction.
Yeah, like,
for
you know, it's good for. I think it's good for girls. And, like, to say that girls are seeing this movie is, like, kind of a stretch because it is rated R. So, like, you know, teens maybe.
I still, in this day and age, with how many little kids saw Deadpool, I'd go ahead and bet that a lot of girls.
Well, that's fair. But, like, I mean, I think it's good for girls to have a story where women in their stories are centered. But to say that, like, you know, Harley Quinn should be a role model, I don't think it's true. And I don't think anybody at this table is saying that either. But, like, it just brings up the point, like, that we expect.
Also, like, I don't
in some ways, for women to be role models on film in the way that we don't expect male characters to be generally.
I don't think female representation either should be all Mary Sue's. I think females can be complicated.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sometimes terrible characters.
Which is why, like, the character of Harley Quinn is really cool, because, like, it's like you love her, but also she's done really bad things, and, like, that's...
Yeah. Again, it's
And in
just
this
a
movie,
female
she does
character.
really bad things.
And written by prominent feminist Paul Dini, who I love, is one of the best Batman writers of all time. Just saying.
Heck yeah.
He created the character for the animated series and has since championed.
Yeah, I mean,
everything
it's
Harley Quinn.
so cool that like she was created for the animated series too, because I
Mhm.
love that little animated series. It's so good.
It's so good. Drawn on black paper. That's
She's
how
a
it's
great
work.
character.
Oh, that's cool.
Honestly.
But
And I like all the character development we get of her in this.
back to a little bit what the argument was. Might I add that I don't agree 100% with Franny that the film is damaging. I don't agree with that sentiment. But I see the argument people are having is what I'm saying.
I
But
wasn't
more
saying necessarily
importantly,
it's damaging. I was saying can be viewed as damaging.
my issues with the film have nothing to do with representation versus not representation.
Wait, hold on. I do want to hear because like Bridget didn't get to weigh in. You wouldn't let Bridget weigh in.
Well, because I wanted you guys. It was a really interesting fight for me personally because
no,
I didn't
yeah,
really agree
but
with
I
either
do
of
want
you.
to. I do want to hear what Bridget thought.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Like, I've been through a lot of shit, and men have been at the hand of it, like, probably 9 times out of the 10. And so, I don't know. It was really nice to get a little bit of a break from, like, all of the men-centric movies. And it was nice to see, like, even if...
I'm sorry.
Logan's over here twitching.
I have something in my eye. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got like a eyelash something. It looked like I was like,
You're
like, how could you speak that
Logan's
way
over
of
here like
me?
having a stroke, and I'm like, are you good? Can you like let her finish before you do that, please?
But I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know a lot of great men in my life, but I've also known a lot of horrible men, and it was really refreshing to be able to see a movie where I kind of, like, got justice for these characters in a way.
Like you get to live a little vicariously through
Yeah.
them. And
I
it's
mean,
kinda
like,
nice.
my own situation is probably never going to ever have justice. And so, I mean, like, it was nice to kind of live vicariously for a little bit and not have to worry about, like my abuser is never going, I mean, probably never going to face up to the consequences of what he's done and would affect me every day. But it was kind of satisfying.
Shit, I'm sorry. I'm just having emotions. I'm sorry.
You're
I
good.
get real defensive and emotional about you. I don't like hearing that stuff. But I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm being a little fucking baby about it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But I mean, it was kind of nice to see the villain, Black Mask, in this kind of be blown up, and it was kind of like, wow, like maybe there is justice in the world. Maybe like, I mean, it's stupid because it's a movie, and I know it's a movie, and like,
But like we see our own stories in movies, and,
And
we like
that's the importance
And-
of representation right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
is to be able to identify with characters and all that. And that's where I really like I like the movie for a lot of reasons. I just make the argument that Franny's making again, where I feel like the one out of the 10 wasn't represented there. Does that mean that it has to be in order for it to be a good movie? No, I just see where she's coming from.
yeah, and I can also see where Franny is coming from.
Mhm.
But ultimately, I really enjoyed watching and kind of living vicariously through them and being able to be like, wow, like, not, like, justice does happen even if it's
and
not
like
in
to
a
have
way.
a movie where you don't have to worry about like how the men are feeling in it.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit on Bridget's
Like you know what I mean?
point.
Like you don't have like the movie doesn't want to make you feel any sympathy when
Yeah.
like they get their shit rocked, you know.
I-
And like I appreciate that.
I enjoy
Yeah.
it. I enjoy understanding though where a character's coming from. It's kind of like with any good film, the villain is always complicated, right? Like if you we were talking about the animated series. Okay, Freeze in the animated series is when they first wrote out the real storyline where you find out he's this horrible like freezing villain, and he actually froze his wife because she was gonna die, and he's trying to find the cure before she does.
I think I remember that.
So that character, he does horrible things, but he does it in the name of saving somebody. I think that those characters not necessarily have to be in every film, but I just think they're more interesting. So for me, that's why the villain felt weak.
And I think a little bit on Bridget's point is why I'm jaded in the opposite direction is because my abuser was a woman. So
That's fair.
That is fair.
I
That
think
is
that's
fair.
why I look at it through a completely different lens.
I mean, that's completely valid.
And this person also was using this is true that there is a general spoken opinion that in the course of two parents, whether the father or the mother is who's the better parent out of the two, just inherently, like, who deserves to be the parent more. She used that, like, I guess you could say that bias, that public bias against him in a really fucked up way.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's kind of why I see why you get upset about that stuff, because you're kind of on the other end of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I watched.
This is not what I thought we'd be talking about. Right?
And
I know, right?
And I watched people rally around an innocent man just because a woman was over there screaming that he was a bad guy, and just taking it at face value. And I watched that damage a good guy. So I think that's why I see it through a completely different lens.
And that's fair and that's valid.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
And like they're like, oh sorry, they're just like, for me, like there are approximately like 4 dudes that I trust because all the other ones have given me good reason not to trust them. And one of them is Senator Bernie Sanders. If you're out there,
I was like, who's the fourth? Who did you add on? You've added somebody.
I love me some Bernie though. He's an honorary woman though, so he doesn't count.
That's true.
He doesn't count.
He doesn't count. But yeah, this is a Bernie podcast. What up?
What up?
Bernie? Oh man, I've been reading your bill since 2012, man. Been a super fan since.
Fucking bros.
Yeah.
Before we move on though, I do have a complaint about this movie.
So yeah, I mean,
I think that's actually what moving on is, because we're going to talk about the movie.
Yeah, the 2 more complaints.
Oh, I thought you were going to move on to like things we
No,
like.
because I think Logan was starting to say that he had
I still haven't gotten to what I don't like about
totally
it.
apart.
Oh
I'm
shit, you're
shredding
right.
the barcode on this fucking mic. I hope that.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, I love to.
No, if you look,
things.
you can see where I peeled my bark.
Mine's not coming off in one good like strip though.
No.
Never does. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. What do
Gotta
you
use
not like?
hand sanitizer. If you want to get a label off or a sticker off, if you squirt hand sanitizer on it, it'll come off.
It's a little more satisfying if we just like kind of pick at it. So.
Okay, anyway. Victor Zsasz, character that I love from the comics, is one of the most hardcore characters in the
Franny
war.
looks upset right now.
I'm not upset. I'm just thinking.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of thoughts.
So Victor Zsasz is a character is one of the
Wait,
most...
what was Bridget's complaint?
Oh, I mean, like, you can go first, Hunger.
Oh, shit, I forgot you actually said that. Okay.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I have a thing I didn't like about this movie. And I was like, oh, no, you just won't get to hear it?
Listen, I'm a dummy. Go ahead.
And this is something I talked about with my good friend Evan, so that he knows I'm not just stealing this point from him, but like we talked about.
Evan, we gotta play D&D.
Evan, we enjoyed seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good
Hi,
time. But we talked about how like the abuser in Birds of Prey actually kind of got off scot-free in a lot of ways.
Who, the Joker?
Yeah, the Joker. No, I'm sorry. I should have clarified. Not Black Mask. Because he got blown to bits. But
Well, I mean, Joker only lost his job playing the Joker, but the guy who got the job after him got an Oscar for it, so...
No, I mean, like, the
sure
character.
Enough.
Okay, so the reason why that didn't happen in the film
Right, is because of
the lawsuits involving... Like, he can't play the character now. So that's why they couldn't incorporate the character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I also think, like, it does kind of make that point that, like, you know, sometimes you don't always get justice, but you find it in other ways.
You're right.
It's weird. It's almost like it was, like, a real, you know, art imitating life imitating art, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
It kind of was perfect that he couldn't be in the movie. Because I think even if they had killed him off in the way they wanted
Well, I
to...
don't think they wanted him to be in the movie either. Like, it was very clear that he was not a joy to work with or be around.
Yeah, well, on top of that, though, I mean, they couldn't have him in the movie. And to make it even more so, they couldn't even have a fake version of him in the movie.
Which I think was the original plan, was that they would use, like, a...
Yeah, and they could have done the route where they kill him, like they showed in the trailer, like they made us believe with that truck.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually think I like the fact that that wasn't it. Because now it's just like, it's like a distant memory. The whole movie, he's not just absent from her, he's just absent because he doesn't fucking matter. He's just gone. Who gives a shit? Yeah. And I think that's what she gets in the end. She's like, fuck him. Whatever. That's exactly, I mean, that's what makes it so perfect.
That's fair.
It's like you were saying before. There. Like, sometimes you don't always get your justice, and, like, that sucks to high hell. But, like, you get it in other ways. Mostly by being happy.
Yeah, just by being like, I never needed him in the first place. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Never even needed.
And, like, easier said than done, ladies, but,
You don't even need the vengeance. Just fucking move on. He's unimportant.
And I mean, she says too in the movie, like, vengeance is not gonna help you get the closure you need.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just really like this movie for giving us that, like, sort of smart Harley Quinn that, like, we were missing.
Now let me shit on it a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
go ahead.
Victor Zsasz. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to this point. Victor Zsasz is a great character from the comics. What did they turn him
Yeah,
into?
I was actually quite interested in Victor Zsasz because I didn't really know much about him, so I kind of looked it up, and he seems like a kind of cool comic book character.
He marks himself on his body. He's a masochist. He marks himself on his body whenever he kills somebody.
Yeah, that was said in the film.
Yeah, but so, like, whateverly. I mean, he's murdered such important characters in the comics, and he's literally just, like, he is, in the sense of how Bruce Wayne is just a normal guy being a hero, this is just a normal guy being the expert villain. Whereas, like, Joker, and I know he's not technically a mythical creature, but in a sense, his anarchy is. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, in some versions of his origin story, he does have sort of, like, a supernatural...
Yeah. He's just, like, lightning in a bottle. Like, he's not an everyday man. Victor Zsasz is just an evil fuck. But he is a man. He is completely mortal, and he still gets away with these things. He still has defeated Bruce Wayne. What do they turn him into in this? A lackey. Like, that pisses me off as a fan of the comics. And then Black Mask, also completely mindless villain. I mean, he is mindless in this. He's just
he literally always says, I want it, I want things.
I mean, they turn him into, like, Richie Rich. Like, they literally turn him into this dude who's just full of privilege and an asshole. And maybe that works for the sense of the movie.
Like, maybe it would have been, like, not having read these comics, but, like, maybe it would have been better to not have, like, these big name comic book villains. Like, it could have just been, like, literally anyone else, right?
Yes, and well, even then, if you want
like, they could have just invented a character to play that part.
That's how Harley Quinn was made. There was no Joker, like, female, like, character. There was nobody in his lackey group that fit that arc. So Paul Dini created Harley Quinn, and that character's fucking incredible. People can make new characters outside of the comic book medium. It's been proven. But even then, there were so many characters he could have picked that weren't Black Mask or Zsasz. There were characters that fit the archetype he wanted, but they went with these characters because he knew that they were popular and draw people in. Or she, I can't remember. I think it was a female director. I don't remember the writer though.
I think
you were
it was
excited.
too.
You were like, oh my god, I'm excited to see Victor Zsasz on.
As a hardcore fan.
Yeah.
But does that mean that there was a cinematic issue with them as far as, like, the characters they were in the film? No, they fit those characters, but they didn't fit the source material.
That's fair, and, like, you wanted them to be a little more.
So as a comic book fan, I think this rate's lower than me than a cinema fan, and they have to be separate things. They can't be the same thing, because then it's the same way where people like Twilight, they're looking at it from a novel reading perspective and not just an independent film perspective. And then my other issue with the film, the pacing was a little tough.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't like how they treated the audience like we're actually fucking dumb.
No, I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that was
They
true.
over-explained every single thing that they did, always.
I just thought that was fun.
I thought, like, her, like, little voiceover and narration was fun, and especially, like, in comparison to Suicide Squad, where it just felt so, like, ugh.
It had Cornetto trilogy vibes for sure. It had Eggers vibes for sure. But my other issue with the movie, and this is a pretty big one, there were great characters that had no time.
Yeah, I felt that way as well.
Huntress had nothing. She essentially wasn't there till the end. And then same thing goes with, like, you know, Rosie's character. I can't remember her name. Rosie the cop. Her real name in real life is Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
That character was, like, super rushed, you know. Canary, super rushed. Like, all these characters were super rushed.
Yeah, I wish I had gotten a little bit more time with Huntress, like, rather than, like, that very, very quick backstory explainer.
And then I think it really boils down to this. The studio didn't have faith in a Harley Quinn solo film.
Right.
And that pisses me off, because I think it would have been a better movie if it was Harley Quinn. Or Gotham City Sirens, because, I mean, we end up finding the end Cassandra Cain, you know, Catgirl, whatever the name, Catwoman. I don't really care about that character. Shocking. And then
doesn't Cassandra Cain become Batgirl for a while?
Yes, Batgirl, and then Catwoman, and then there's an arc in the Titans where she becomes called Katie Kane. She becomes a lot of people. And I don't really care about that character, but I mean,
especially because Harley doesn't really end up with working with the other characters in the end.
exactly.
Whereas,
And also,
like, I feel like it could have almost been like a Harley Quinn with Cassandra Cain, like, you know, them finding their friendship.
Yeah,
and,
Gotham City Sirens would have been the Batgirl or Cat, whatever they want to use Kane for. They can use it for either. That's why it's so annoying.
Oops, sorry.
It must have been Dwight.
I was entirely punched my mic.
But the real reason too is Birds of Prey on its own could have stood on its own.
Yeah.
Or Harley Quinn could have stood on its own. I think Gotham City Sirens would have been a better movie because then they would have been able to do more than just the opening scene with the Poison Ivy Harley Quinn super interesting relationship that they essentially threw to the wayside because they were afraid to put it in the film.
They were just like, well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Here's
He's
for
like,
the
"Go
gays.
fetch."
This one's for the gays, y'all.
I mean,
Strawberry Lemonade.
it was a good moment to like see that, but it's still like you could have made a whole movie about that.
Yeah.
Shit.
And it would have been a lot more interesting than Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which is really what the movie should be.
And, like,
Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Right, and like Harley Quinn, like the movie makes it sound like Harley's gonna join the Birds of Prey. Like she doesn't do that.
Never been.
Never has been. Never will. Probably, but like, and like
well, maybe now.
Maybe now, but I mean, yeah, like I would have liked to have a Birds of Prey solo movie would have been just fine with me, or a Harley Quinn solo movie. But yeah, I think it boils down to them not having faith in it.
And then that's where the pacing comes an issue.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Is it
Because,
Birds of Prey or is it Harley Quinn?
Yeah, and like sometimes you get these like very long sequences with Harley that are really good, and like they like give you so much more depth to her character and like the way that she bonds with Cassandra Cain. But then like you have these really really rushed backstories for Canary and Huntress, and it's like, you know, like Canary is one that I really would have liked to learn more
This
about.
is actually.
Like, how did you get to this point? Like, how did you get here? What happened to your mom? Like, I don't know those. I mean, maybe if I read the comics, I would know them, but I don't know those details. Like,
I'm gonna start calling this the Logan test. Can we name the character that Rosie actually is? Can we name her character's name?
give me a second.
I love doing this because it proves to me that the pacing is a little sloppy when the main character we can't pull a name from.
Her first name is Renee.
Yeah, we know that, but what's the superhero arc character? Because they did say it.
They said it like one time at the end.
No, they said it twice.
I mean, she's a cop.
Yeah, but what is her superhero name?
Fuck, I know. Did they say it?
Twice.
When did they say it?
And when they're all talking and like batting each other into starting this fight, it's referred to her as a nickname. I don't even remember what it is. I just know that it's said twice in the film. Nobody knows. Proof that the pacing's a little.
I don't know. What is her name now? No,
I don't remember.
I'm gonna
Somebody
Google
Google
it.
it. I was actually watching something about this before, where they're like a lot of people don't even know Rosie's character's name, and it was an argument about how Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey could have been a good movie if they cared more about each character versus just Harley Quinn.
And like that's the thing. Like this movie wanted to be a Harley Quinn solo movie, but it didn't allow itself.
It didn't trust. And by the way, not to be a real fucking downer, but it did horrible at the box office. Maybe they were a little right. Maybe they need to have a PG-13 rating of Birds of Prey. Maybe introduce the characters a little bit.
Yeah, like maybe like a PG-13 Birds of Prey with a little bit of Harley in it.
And just do Harley like they did Deadpool. Give it a low cost.
It doesn't like tell
With
me
high
like
return.
Right.
like a superhero name for her.
She's got a superhero
We'll
name.
click her and then figure out.
Just look up members of Birds of Prey.
Okay.
She's got a name.
Hold on.
Anyway.
Somebody talk while I'm Googling.
Things I liked about the film. The costuming was fucking tremendous. It gave like a super cool vibe to the whole film. Everybody didn't necessarily look like modern day, but it almost had like a disco danger, like Shaft vibes, you know what I mean?
Is it Lady Blackhawk?
Lady Blackhawk, there you go.
And they said it?
They did say it. They called her a Black Hawk, apparently, or something to that matter, and then they did say it at the end as well.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to pull up that video. I can't remember who did it, but I was watching it not too long ago because I was just refreshing myself in the pod.
Especially in comparison, I've seen a lot of like these posts around, and I think they're really good. Like in comparison to how Harley Quinn was costumed in Suicide Squad versus how she's costumed in Birds of Prey is like a world of difference, and it's so much better.
The film is very stylized, and I really like that.
There's gonna be so many slutty Halloween costumes this year of Harley Quinn.
Why do you have to? Do you mean that's?
But that's the difference. Though, like Harley Quinn is like so much less sexualized. Like she's just like having fun with her body.
But my thing is, why do we have to point out like look at fucking Superman? He wears tight.
No, I love it. They're like the good kind
Okay.
of like taste.
No, I
study,
love
like,
it.
Halloween
I get a little
costumes.
frustrated with like the Superman dick patch. And people are like, that's cool, but like,
Yeah, but like if I'm like Harley, yeah, I agree with
yeah,
that.
if she shows off her midriff, when she works damn hard.
No,
for
there's
her.
some
Right,
there's
she
some
works.
good. Like I really like the costumes.
Yeah, the design is great. The music is okay in the sense that I don't know if it works super well with
It's
the
not
film,
just like
but it
Daddy's
sounds
Little
great.
Monster T-shirt. Like
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
It's much
Um,
better.
And the one thing I really liked with the production design, I loved her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of told you everything about the character. I mean, if she wasn't already saying it out loud, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it was really kind of demonstrative of the kind of anguish she was going through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like little behind the scenes
Like,
of
just
her that we normally don't get.
Alone, like the Joker face with the knife.
Like we've all seen depression holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adopting a hyena, feeding the guy that she adopted it from to, like, those are, like, really funny concepts.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Bridget?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just leaning in.
You leaned in like you were going to say something and then just never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing I kind of was, like, super excited about in regards to the film, they really pulled it off, was it was great action.
Yeah. I love
The prison scene.
which one?
The prison scene with the water.
Yeah, that one. And then I also really, really liked the funhouse fight scene.
Yeah, that one's good too.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
I really maybe I'm overemphasizing on the scene in the prison with the things going off, the water and everything. That whole scene for me was like, wow, this is like better than like Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman. Like these scenes are fucking
yeah, it was
good.
great.
The action's really great.
Yeah, just that funhouse scene, like, I really liked it a lot. Like, you can't think too much about it. Because, like, how, like, the mechanics.
That's where it falls apart.
You can't
for
draw
me,
a map
yes.
of this funhouse in your mind, or else, like, it won't make sense to you.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, just to watch it is really fun. And just to watch them, like, all interact and, like, be on a team together when they don't spend a lot of this movie on a team together is, like, it's just a lot of fun for me.
It really is.
It was like you were going to say
I'm
more.
sorry, yeah, I
And
know.
you were just like, it really is.
I was like, I'm not going to interrupt Bridget this time.
I mean, like, that
Now
was
you have to
That's
say
good.
more, Bridget. Say more.
I don't want to say more.
Oh, okay.
Franny's over here texting.
I liked her being on roller skates, too. That was really fun.
That was really
fun.
fun. I
was
enjoyed
cute.
that.
Really?
Yeah. I like.
I don't know. My little sister does roller derby, and like that's really hard to do.
Oh
And
my
so-
god, that's badass.
Yeah.
I
Shout out to
I
my
love
fucking
I've always
sister. You're
wanted
a
to do that.
badass bitch. Don't ever forget it.
I mean,
That's fucking
does
awesome.
she listen to this
though.
pod?
No, absolutely not.
Wait, your sister doesn't listen to our podcast?
Absolutely not.
No.
She don't give a fuck.
That's
Where-
upsetting.
Wow, I
Listen to our
want
podcast.
to hear more about this roller derby thing.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
fucking
awesome.
cool as shit.
I've never been to one of her games yet because they're all
Haven't
been
you?
away. No.
I thought you went with me one time.
No.
Maybe not, but anyway, it's
I've been
hard
to
as
both,
it's hard
your
as fuck.
brothers.
And I really was like, I thought that was really cool for her to be on
I
skates.
saw
and,
that
like-
Ellen Page movie about it, and I like
Oh
it.
hell yeah,
That's
Whiplash.
something I've always wanted
no,
to do.
Whiplash is the one with the drum. I think it's Whip It.
Oh, Whip It, yeah. Whiplash is the one with turn my fucking pages, bitch.
Yeah.
I love Whiplash so much. That could have been a pick, but it wasn't. I
I love Whiplash too. I mean, Miles Teller's a little, but I like Whiplash.
like Miles Teller.
He's hit or miss, man.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't always hit the mark, but
Spectacular Now, a lot of people love him. Anyway, well, I was talking about the roller skates. No, I don't know. It was good genre blending most of the film with comedy and action. I just feel like, man, when shit's going down that hard, why don't you just lose the skates, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just got thinking.
Well,
that
that's a
the
good
whole time.
point.
But I liked it aesthetically.
You know, one thing I want to say about Whiplash.
Oh, we're talking about Whiplash.
Yeah, I just.
Franny's never seen it, so it's
I was
No.
just thinking about
I've
this.
also never seen
I
it.
have not.
I was like, when I saw Whiplash, I watched it. I don't remember if I watched it with her the first time or if we watched it again a second time because I really liked it. But I think this girl, and when I watched Whiplash, she like thought that she could relate to Miles Teller's character because she was in like orchestra in like high school. And so that's just something fun to think about.
That's not the same thing.
No,
at
it is
all.
absolutely not the same.
That'd be like me relating to show choir, like relating to like Glee because I beatbox.
Don't
in show
talk
choir.
about Glee.
Oh, that's right. We can't talk about Glee anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, I just thought it was worth noting since we were on Whiplash a little bit.
I hear you.
That-
We were on Whip It, then we were on Whiplash.
Yeah, we sort of like tracked onto Whiplash, but
I liked Whip It. I don't remember like a whole lot about it, but I
I
remember
like Whip
liking
It.
I like
We
it.
have a Whip It cup in my house.
Is it about the movie?
Yes, it has like Ellen Page on it. She's on it.
Wow.
You know the one.
No, I don't.
Wow. Fuck you.
What?
I'll send you a picture of my Whippet cup when I get home. You can put it on the Twitter, Franny.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey.
Which, by the way,
Whippet cup.
By the way, we're going to
Whippet.
start getting more active on social media, so watch
Yeah,
out.
you
for
gotta
that.
live up to that now. You can't just say it and not do it.
I'm going to fucking do it. I'm saying it right now. So
We at
I mean-
least
But yeah,
got-
she had like such a weird thing about Whiplash, and she was always weird about like the movies that I would show her, but for some reason she like really grafted onto Whiplash because she felt like she could relate to it. She absolutely could not.
See, now, the guy who does our music for this, he relates to Whiplash, and that makes sense, because he's like a legit
Yeah, like a competitive.
drummer, percussion, like he's an incredible percussionist. By the way, love you, buddy.
Man, now I'm just thinking about Whiplash.
I mean, that's a great movie.
What he fucking does to him in the end.
J.K. Simmons really, he deserved that
Oh,
Oscar,
he
and
really
he got
did
that
it,
damn
too.
Oscar too. Oh wait,
Whoa!
that
Damien Chazelle, when you can make another movie, son?
he'll make another one. It's gonna happen.
I know. I mean, like, well, we had La La Land, and like,
Yeah, I know.
what's going on, dude? You
It's
making another?
everybody was all upset because he made a jazz movie without the black dude as the main character.
Yeah,
I mean, John Legend would have been great in that role, but I love me some Ryan Gosling, so I'm like,
I do.
why is
I
this
love
fun?
Ryan Gosling a lot, but like, I think John Legend could have easily played that role as well. So
And people keep saying John Legend. Like, when did he try out for this role? Like, everybody keeps talking about it. Like, that was the ultimatum.
right.
I'm like,
John Legend won it.
last time I checked, John Legend's not like a fucking world class actor like Ryan. I don't know if he could have pulled off that emotional depth. For me, I would have been like, make it Jamie Foxx, because he could have actually done
Hell
it.
yeah, that would be cool as fuck. I love La La Land, but Whiplash is better. That's my hot take.
La La Land for me is
I
much
fucking
better.
loved. I mean, I haven't seen the other one, but I loved La La Land.
We have all. You have an access to like a
I
Criterion
really
collection
do.
of like great movies. I have so many movies in binders and the shelf. She doesn't watch fucking any of them.
There's so much like good and quotable about Whiplash. That's the fun thing about Whiplash.
It's
like,
so
not my fucking tempo. Turn my pages, bitch.
the intensity.
Yeah.
It's like there are war films that lack the intensity that they capture
Correct.
in Whiplash.
The fucking the blood on the drum set that
I
gets me going
can't.
every time, baby.
Just the legitimate real sweat, not
I
not
know.
stage
He's
sweat.
like real
These
sweat.
people are actually fucking drenched because it's so intense.
And then the ending of Whiplash is so good.
The whole movie is great. And I've always been a little upset that it didn't really take home the gold, but you know, it's all good.
Anyway, after that brief diversion into
Yeah.
Whiplash territory.
Yeah, things I really liked about Prison Break, we're talking about the costume design, we're talking about the music is good, kind of. And since I really like the music,
I don't know if I was like just imagining this, but like, was there like sort of an undercurrent of the sort of tune of Beastie Boys Girls?
I think that was in there, and then
Because
also
it was like that dun 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 girls.
there was another underlining theme that I really enjoyed, and it was Need a Gangster by that one lady from the Suicide Squad movie. What's her name? She has that song. I need a gangster.
Oh
That
shit!
theme
I
was
know that
played
song.
throughout,
Hold
and
on.
it was always in reference to like the depression about Joker, and it's like that makes him. I need a gangster. She's upset about the loss of Joker.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's smart filmation. Thank you,
I
Thank
also
you.
really liked there's
It's
a
Gangsta by Kalani.
Kalani. Yeah.
and there's an original song done for this movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
They're going for that Oscar next year, baby.
Oh, I know. I can't remember if it's a City Girl song or if it's Megan Thee Stallion. Because I love both of them. Like I love both of those artists. But the original song is Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and it's really, really good. And I loved Harley getting to have her little like kind of Marilyn moment as well, which was really
Me too,
fun.
I
for me.
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
that.
good. And I love the grocery shopping scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a lot of
I
fun.
don't underplay that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And like the scene, and like another really good action scene was when she was like running through the market
Yeah.
and being chased. That was a lot of fun. And then like watching her stop to like shoplift, it was like also very
It's so
amusing.
ridiculous, yeah.
And like the whole egg sandwich plot was really funny and really good.
So, I hate to be a
You didn't
downer.
like it?
I just felt like it was a little forced.
I just thought it was fun.
I think that giving her an obsession with food is like the cheap anime, fucking kind of thing.
Yeah, that was a
Mm.
lot. Like, oh, we get it. She's a girl that likes a sandwich a lot.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I think it's outright terrible. I think it was fine. I was more endeared by other things she did.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot about Harley Quinn which was endearing, which was kind of fun because
She was the best part of the movie.
and
I mean,
yeah, I mean she's great, and but like it's fun for her to be also kind of like cute and endearing, and like you kind of love her because she's also terrible.
Madison's slowly moving into my foot space now. I have to
What do you
put my
mean?
Your feet are right. Oh, that's Shablinko. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Sorry. Okay, I just did. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to what I was gonna say.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So
You never fucking listen to me.
the other thing
You
is,
come in here, your feet are in my space. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So
You're just like your fucking father.
so there's parts in the film.
That's
that
my
are-
mom wife impression.
I got you. I knew exactly. I didn't think that was really you speaking to me. So there are a few
Talking about where my feet are. Like I don't run this fucking household. You go out all day.
No.
I never fucking see you. I raise your fucking kids all on my own.
Polly up my fucking ass about this. Jesus
Little
Christ.
Tony acts just like you.
Jesus
How does that make you feel? He
fucking
looks up to his
Christ.
father.
I come
when
home,
do you ever
the
see him?
mop's
When do
not
you
out.
ever spend time
I'm
with little
sick of this.
Tony?
What do you? I didn't never resurface anything. Anyway, my point
You
is,
should see. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my laptop around so you can see this. Do you see that? Do
Yeah.
you see the lines?
it's gonna get so loud.
Oh, I know.
I love it. We should have like one single meatball float across the screen at that point. Anyway, so oh shit, that's funny.
I just like to whip out my mob wife impression every now and again because I think I do a good one. I do it to Bridget, but she doesn't play along with me.
Oh,
I can't do the accent. I can't
You
do
She
that.
won't be my fucking Tony.
You just gotta be that meek, scared like Fargo kind of Tony. You know what I mean? Where like, I don't know what she wants me to do. Oh, she's always so angry.
Bridget's not seen Fargo. What are you talking about?
The show or the film? Neither.
I never saw the show. I never watched
The
it.
show is
Is it good?
fucking good. Yeah.
Doesn't it have Martin Freeman in it?
And Colin
You
Hanks.
okay there, Bridget?
And dang old what's his
I have
name?
not
Billy Bob
seen-
Thornton.
I just got a cold chill.
By me saying Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
You know what I'd love
Oh,
from...
Jesus Christ, we're never gonna get to what I was gonna say.
I don't know.
Let
You
me
know
just
what
say
I
it
love?
real fast.
Hold on. Did I just not hear you?
Hello.
Okay, I'm good. But you know what I love? I love fucking Angelina Jolie's Billy Bob Thornton tattoo.
It's ridiculous.
It is quite possibly one of my favorite things about
I like
Angelina
how
Jolie.
they used to carry around each other's blood.
Correct.
What?
That's fucking
Like,
creepy.
I need me a fucking freak like
I'm
that.
sorry, what?
They used to carry around each other's blood in necklaces.
If you're not trying to carry my blood in a necklace and also get my name tattooed on you underneath of a dragon, I don't want to fucking talk about it.
I used to know a couple that during intimate times.
Oh God, no! Please, dear God, no!
Do you know the story I'm telling?
No, please stop.
They used to.
Hold on. I feel like my audio is going, like, I feel like what I'm hearing is going in and out. I don't know if it's the headphones or I don't know if it's y'all. Are you guys hearing it?
Madison,
What?
I've heard you
You're
guys
dead.
the whole time.
Why am I dead? What
you're
happened?
dead, Madison.
What the fuck just happened? What?
Go ahead, Paul.
That wasn't on. It's just started recording.
I heard Bridget hit the table though.
So you may have noticed that we had a severe quality drop off between the Twilight recording and the Birds of Prey recording.
And it's not my
You-
fault for once. Woo!
You, dear listeners, noticed this far before we noticed this. I was having some headphone troubles, and as we looked down to solve those troubles, we realized that the Rodecaster, which runs our audio and our mics, it was not plugged in. So we were recording the entirety of that segment on my MacBook speakers. So if it sounds like shit in a dumpster
What's
and then
so
the dumpster was lit on fire,
What's
that's
so
why. And it's my fault because I didn't realize.
What's so good? At one point, I made Franny like check on her mic etiquette, and it didn't matter. None
Right,
of us
and
were
none of it
talking.
mattered. We were like literally sitting here talking into mics with our headphones on, like it even fucking mattered.
Correct.
So obviously, I hope it's obvious that we've plugged it in now at the very tail end of this podcast.
Yeah. At one point, you'll hear me in the podcast go, "Madison, you're dead."
I just we paused between Twilight and Birds of Prey to watch The Bachelor, and I brought my laptop downstairs with me so I could contribute the minimum amount to my group project as we watched The Bachelor. And when we brought
And
it
then
back
you
up,
came upstairs to contribute the minimal amount to our podcast.
hey,
as
I
well.
contributed. I just didn't plug the fucking thing in. But now I will have learned my lesson forever. And like, it was really weird because I was like, wow, we are like peaking a lot. We must be being really loud because I could see the audio spiking, and I even pointed it out to Bridget. And it's
She did.
because we didn't have the mics to moderate our loudness, and so it was just the MacBook speakers just being like, wow, these people are yelling. It's terrible. It's really bad.
It sounds god awful, but
yeah, it sounds
I'm
really
so
bad. But I
sorry.
think that the content is good. So like, if you listen to it, thank you, because I understand that it's bad, but like,
If you can handle our first episode, you can handle this.
right, you can do this. We do a really
True.
good, like, we do a fun little mob bit in there, and I
Yeah.
think that that's even
It
worth
was
it.
so good.
See, like, that's why I need you, Bridget. You're my cheerleader. You are my fire, my one desire.
Is she your
Believe
Julia?
when I say that I want it that way. She is my Julia,
Oh God.
my soon to be my everything.
Me when I proposed to you.
Oh my God, yes. Just quote the whole thing when
Please.
you propose to Madison.
No, what you really have to do is find that guy and let you get him to let you propose in his house
Oh my God,
The
with all the
crown
crown
molding.
molding.
with the crown molding, the lighting.
Jesus
That
Christ.
would be amazing. I don't know. Do we have more to say about Birds of Prey?
I feel like so
like,
much
and then, like,
time.
So much time has elapsed because after we realized the whole editing thing, then we had like a personal crisis, and like
Yeah.
so now it's like become a whole thing.
Yeah, like
But we're
things-
like, help
our
us
lives
God,
have
we're gonna finish
changed
tonight.
since we realized.
That's really true.
Correct.
So like, have we said all we were gonna say? I think we were talking about
I
Whiplash,
feel
so
like
we
I
might
might
have.
Yeah.
We
I
might
think
have
we
We're
are.
exhausted
talking
Birds
about
of
Whippets
Prey.
and Whiplash.
Do you want to
That's
just
true.
ratings?
Should we just jump it on in?
Sure.
Get on in there.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because it gave me the feeling of justice, even though it did have its faults. And it was fun, and also I'm lesbian.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really lesbian for Huntress a lot.
Yeah.
I love her with that crossbow.
You're lesbian for everyone, babe. Like
not everyone.
not everyone, but like you're a lesbian all the time.
I'm lesbian.
You're lesbian.
Well, she did say something about Kurt Russell once.
That's true. Are you a lesbian for Kurt
I
Russell?
should have picked Big Trouble in Little China. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, we're gonna announce my pick right after we do the ratings.
Yes. But my rating would be, I'm gonna give it a B+.
It's a hard B plus.
Mm.
Narf.
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
A 5 out of 10.
It was just okay. It was a good popcorn movie. It wasn't
Mhm.
anything world bending. It was
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, I think me and Bridget had a lot of fun watching it. Maybe you guys
Yeah.
didn't have as much of like a
we
fun
we
time.
had a good time. We kind of look at each other during like stupid parts and be like, but yeah, it was.
But
good
we do that
time.
with every movie, so it's
like
not
me and
just
Bridget would
Birds of
just
Prey.
look at each other and be like lesbian.
Yeah, you guys would just look at each other and lick each other's
Correct.
lips.
Yeah.
No,
Lick each other's
ew.
lips. That's just good. You go like this. You have something on your nose right now.
Did I get it?
Let me look. Turn to me. I think so.
There was
Sorry.
like one other person in our theater too,
Oh, that's awesome.
and so
Yeah.
it was like an IMAX theater. We also thought the movie was like fucked up at first because
We have a great story when we do Sonic, which we're doing next week.
Oh,
Sorry,
nice.
spoilers. We have a great
Oh
story.
yeah, we
there.
are going to see Sonic next
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
You gotta go see Sonic.
hey,
Gotta go
Hedgehog.
fast. That's no good.
Who voices Sonic?
That would be the guy. He was in Blue Iguana. That's not for. No one's ever gonna figure out who he is based on that.
I don't even know what the fuck Blue Iguana
You
is.
seen Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
The one guy, the dude who did College Humor stuff too. I wish I could remember his name right now.
Chris Pratt.
No, not Chris Pratt. I
You think they got
remember
Chris Pratt on Sonic?
It's I don't. It's Bill
Is it-
something Schwartz maybe.
Is it the guy with the hair?
Everybody always says he
"Don't
looks
be
like Joe.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
It might be.
I don't even like Parks and Rec.
Hold on. We're just gonna look it up. We're
The
gonna
guy
sit
who looks
here.
like Joe Keery, right?
Yeah. Yes. Him.
What the fuck is his name? I don't even know his name.
Something Schwartz maybe.
But on
I
Parks
don't
and
know.
Rec, what's his name? Is it like,
I don't know. I'm not a Parks and Rec fan.
I
just
don't
know
like
he's on
Parks and Rec either, but like,
Is he the guy that like is opposite Leslie? Nope.
I don't know. I never saw it. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
there. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So my rating.
Yes, please.
It's 4 out of 10, closer to a 5 than a 3.
Cool.
It's like a 4.5.
Gotcha. So yeah, what are we gonna do next week?
So we're gonna do Sonic the Hedgehog,
Sonic?
and we're gonna do my pick, the English remake of. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna get this wrong. I'm gonna actually pronounce how you pronounce the name. Give me 1 second. It's a good movie, Sonic. I mean, and we have a great story about Sonic. Give me 1 sec. What about that airline food? Am I right?
Huh.
I love how I'm very good at like killing dead air, but you guys are just like, let's have this dead
Yeah,
air.
let's just have it. I'm really interested to see Sonic. I feel like when we saw Cats, that dude was trying to talk to me about Sonic as well.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
I wasn't having any of it.
It is based on the 1997 film. I can't pronounce the name.
Let me see. I'll do it.
Okay, it's that first one. Then it's that one with the video. That name.
Abre los ojos.
Yeah.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes. Exactly. That film is amazing. This film, Vanilla Sky, with Tom Cruise, is amazing in its own right, but also like it's a conversation. We'll put it that way. It's gonna be
excited.
conversation.
I've never seen this movie. I'm excited.
Don't look up anything about it. Just watch it. Yeah. So we're gonna do Sonic and Vanilla Sky.
Cool.
Green Hill Zone and Vanilla Sky.
Announcement to make. We were talking about trivia, I think, last time.
Yes.
Last week at trivia, one of the categories was AFI Top 100 movie quotes, and we mopped the floor. We did great. We got all but one, I think, right. It was great.
What?
What do you mean?
Wait, what does that have to do with the podcast?
Because it's movie quotes.
I'm proud of you. I just feel like that was a weird thing to make sure you said on the podcast.
I just wanted to flex.
Okay.
It was something I was going to say during dead air, but then you like got it, and so I was like, maybe I'll just.
Oh, so you
say it
waited
now.
till there was no dead air to
I'm proud
dead
of
air
you.
out.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to say that we did a really good job,
I'm really proud of you.
and I want to shout out to my team at trivia.
Hey.
Okay, so
Team Dad.
a couple of announcements before
Well, I
we
think
end it too.
we're always a variation on dad. We were daddy issues that week.
Oh.
So like sometimes we're like we've been just dad, we've been your dad, we've been wait till your father hears about this. We're just like, but it's a variation on dad. I think we're gonna be number one dad this week. I think
That's
that's the
great.
decision. Yeah, we're always something dad related.
I like it.
So a couple of announcements.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna start going to other mediums here soon, so look out for that. We'll keep you guys posted on that.
We're gonna be on Pornhub.
Yeah, you guys want us on Pornhub? Email us.
Yeah, we'll put it on there.
Put it. If you guys.
I'll just do Google sexy lady big booby, and then instead of what we normally do for the thumbnail, that will be the thumbnail, and then it'll just be the podcast.
So good. Okay. And also, Franny's gonna take over a lot of the social media stuff, so you guys
Yeah.
can catch us on that.
Because I'm really bad at posting on social media, and like I barely posted on YouTube.
We're gonna be
ladies and
active.
gents.
More importantly,
on social media.
even more so, we're gonna also get our stuff on Letterboxd, and we'll
Yeah,
also
I know we've been really bad about the letterbox business. Sorry.
we're gonna work on exclusive goofy lists. We're gonna try posting those every once in a while that you guys can read on Letterboxd. So follow us on Letterboxd too.
Yeah. Other than that, like,
We're also-
comment, subscribe, smash that motherfucking like button.
Later, y'all.
Send me an email.
Bye.
Like
We
and
love you.
subscribe.